Alright, ladies and gentlemen, as ever, my name is Shane, that's Shane's Games, and tonight we're going to be playing Ace Attorney Investigations Miles Edgeworth, originally for the DS, but we are playing the Android remaster. This won't be our first time playing, so if you want to see how we got to where we are tonight, or check out some of the games I've played in the past, be them obscure, unusual, or nostalgic, feel free to check out my YouTube channel, but for tonight, let us go ahead and get into the game. Oh, a Peltier system, right, thermoelectric cooling, that is a... I've never actually seen that used in a PC before. That is really interesting. All right. Let's see where the autosave decided to put us. Oh, right at the actual place we needed to be. Thank you, game. So just quick to recap, we are in case 5, the final case of the game. We are investigating 2 murders in an embassy that is technically split between 2 countries, and the 2 murders therefore happened in 2 different sovereign countries. This case is a mess. But we're gonna do everything we can to untangle it here, so let's get started. Yeah, actually, this safety sign, the one right over there, that is actually a pretty sophisticated safety sign, and realistic too. I like it. I like it a lot. Double the deaths, double the fun! March 14th, 9:21 p.m., open air stage. I've left the Damask 2 investigation to Francesca and returned to Babal. Suppose my first order of business should be to look into Babal's statue. Mr. Edgeworth! So, Kay, what's the situation? Oh, it's great! Investigating is so much fun! In other words, they've made absolutely no progress. We weren't goofing off, honest, sir! We've been investigating our hearts out. Very well then, would you care to give me an update on your investigation? Oh, we had a really fun time, sir. I knew it. 0 progress. In any case, Detective Gumshoe. Yes, sir? You have permission to enter the Alabastian Embassy, is that correct? Yep. As a local detective, I'm helping out with investigations on both sides, sir. Good. In that case, I can leave these pieces of evidence with you. They belong to the lady under the Pink Princess's mask. Pink Princess? What kind of lady was playing her, sir? The kind that was also playing the role of the Pink Badger yesterday. Ah! Oh, understood, sir. If I happen to run into her, I'll give them back to her. And if I don't, then I guess I'll unload them somewhere. He doesn't seem all that enthused to go find her, but I can't blame him. Evidence that has lost their value given the Detective Gumshoe, oh thank God. Now then, I don't believe I'll be needing this anymore either. Not the autograph! That's from the Steel Samurai. Safety sign reminds you of a sign in a JRPG you saw, I want to say it was Persona 5, that asks you to follow a rule and a manner. I remember there was a safety sign I saw in, I think it was one of the Half-Life remakes. No, it was in the original Stanley Parable. There was a safety sign I saw in the original Stanley Parable that I really appreciated. I don't remember what it said off the top of my head, which is really unfortunate. Can I see it on my phone here? No, I don't think I can. Shoot. I think it might be on my Steam profile, but yeah, I saw it and it's really good. Edgeworth is not wearing his PPE, but technically I don't think he's he's in the construction area, so he might be safe. Rin, you have discovered an electric blanket designed to go between you and your office chair. Ooh, that sounds cozy. I like it. There is actually a protective helmet. He might have enough gel in there that could bounce off rocks. What? Are you really gonna throw that autograph away? Yes, because that Steel Samurai was a fake. Steel Samurai's autograph scrunched up into a ball and disposed of. The disdain! The disdain! Wow! Also, I just want to point out that technically Edgeworth just committed littering in a foreign country. Shame on you, Edgeworth. Shame on you. Wait, what? What do you mean by fake? Now then, I believe it's time for a little housekeeping. Unnecessary evidence has been removed. Remaining evidence has been rearranged. Alright, what do we still got? We do have a lot of evidence in this case. We got the prosecutor's badge. We got the embassy guidebook. We got Babal's version of the statue. We got the notes about the first victim, Manny Cochin. We got the Yatagarasu's key, which is also a knife, which is also a key. We've got the traditional Alabastian knife, which is probably a murder weapon. We've got the Cadopian smuggling documents. We got the Babalese knife handle. We got some counterfeit money. We've got the Babalese ink. We've got Alabast's version of the statue. We've got passion flowers. We've got the note that Damask II was holding when he died. We've got the busted samurai spear. We've got a box full of samurai hot dogs. And that's it. I'm not sure why he hung on to some of that, but whatever. It's an adventure game. More items is more better. Edgeworth is still convinced there's a real steel samurai out there. That's amazing. Yeah, you just completely gave her the brush off there. What do you mean fake? Yeah, whatever. I don't know, a hot dog does sound pretty nice, I will admit. Alright, we do have a step ladder here. Are they gonna make a joke about it? A ladder. Actually, that's a step ladder. They're the exact same thing. No way! From their structure up, they're totally different. But of course, from a thief's perspective, the best kind of ladder is the rope ladder. A step ladder is much too heavy to carry around, after all. And from a prosecutor's perspective, any type of ladder is guilty of being dangerous during an earthquake. That is the weirdest running gag of all. From what I understand, it's not even in the Japanese version of the game. It's like some sort of bizarre running gag that the English translators put in. But just in case anybody's missed it, there is a gag in every single Ace Attorney game where somebody, usually Phoenix Wright himself, gets in an argument with somebody over the difference between a ladder and a step ladder. It's so weird. But it's in every game. Lost, welcome in. How are you doing today, Lost? How's your weekend going? All right. I mean, technically, Rin. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you're feeling warmer, you don't need to warm the house so much. The money saver right there in the long run. Bags full of cement powder are stacked up here. I suppose they're for renovation. Yeah, because I don't smell a drop of gold here, or any other treasure for that matter. Hey, the only scent you should detect in a place like this is the smell of sweat. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth! That was a pretty good play on words there. Ah, Gummy! Don't randomly jump in on one of our dialogues like that! That got a little meta. Were you eavesdropping on us, Detective Gumshoe? No, it's not like that, sir. Well, that got weird. It would appear that the stage is also scheduled to be renovated. You know, I would love to perform on a stage like this. Something like the Greatest Great Thief Show. I should think it would be a bad idea for a thief to show their face to the world. So how come so many traffic cones are red and white? It's because they're highly visible from a great distance. Oh, is that why? So then, the reason you wear that wine red suit is for visibility's sake? Please don't compare me to a ragged plastic traffic cone. I mean, you got the reddish down here, you got the white up. I'm just saying, the shoe fits. Yes, Siamese! I forget who it was. Somebody linked me to neighbor Somnia the other day. And yeah, it's such a weird conceit that I definitely have to check it out. I'm very excited about that one. Lost you into an autumn food festival and ate and drank to an almost excessive degree. Oh, it sounds so good. I love overeating at festivals. It's so nice. I'm doing good, though. Thanks for asking. Alright. There's a sign here warning passers-by to take precautions around this renovation site. They're really going all out, huh? There's construction going on everywhere. I believe Ambassador Polano said it was to attract more tourists and visitors. Well, what can they do with the new stuff they're building? Hey, what do you think they should do, Mr. Edgeworth? How about transforming it into a courthouse? Hey, be serious! I was being serious. Edgeworth definitely has a bit of a one-track mind. They're having a real time of it cleaning up after the fire. Suppose we should stay out here and investigate the stage some more then. Just looking at these scaffolds makes me want to climb them. I recommend that you do not try. There was a fire burning here until too long ago. Yeah, but I think enough time has passed, so it should be alright. Thief Child says, if there is a height to be scaled, then scale you must. Starting from Thief Child, would you care to explain what you just said? It's a reference, that's all. Keeps him far, far away from Oldbank. He does have a bit of a one-track mind, though, you gotta admit. I will say every time I see a scaffold, I'm like, that would be fun to climb. Hey, you're not going back to Alabasta already, are you? No, not yet. Still need to gather a bit more information first. Didn't intend to do that, but nice to see that's there. Mr. Edgeworth! You look like you're enjoying yourself, Detective. Well, I don't have much else that I enjoy as much as a good investigation, sir. So, what did you find out? Ah, well... I take it he has found nothing of any particular use. As usual. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, I got something really interesting from Ambassador Polano. Oh, and what is this something interesting? This, sir! Wow, it's so pretty! I'm so jealous! That's a real treasure there! Why does the flame burn green, Detective? So, apparently, if you burn the special white crystal oil that they only make in Babal, it burns this green color, sir. Interesting. So it's a special property of the oil. Was this a ploy to force people to visit Babal should the oil run out? Hey, Gummy! What about these silhouettes? They stuck some cutouts on the outside of the lantern so it'd project the images. Oh? Silhouettes, huh? They are rather pretty, aren't they? Wait, what am I doing? I was supposed to be asking for an update on the investigation. Hey, what's wrong, sir? There's something I want you to investigate for me. Do you think you can do that much? Yeah, you got it, sir. Hey, that's not fair. Why is Gummy getting to do all the fun stuff? Well, that's because I'm Mr. Edgeworth's partner. Can't believe you took advantage of the confusion and stole my role as assistant. I expect the two of you to get along and work together like professionals on this. Alright, I can already see why that might come in handy later. That should be interesting. Gimme Gummo, that's... Oh, it's always going to be true there. Gumshoe in the first 3 games was pretty much always wrong, but did do all of the actual effective legwork. And he did some good things. Like in the first game, Phoenix almost got murdered by the mob and Gumshoe saved him. Which was pretty rad, actually. The Resident Himbo, I love it. Yeah, but who has copper sulfate laying around? Joda, greetings. How are you doing today? So you're back now, are you, Mr. Edgeworth? You must be tired. Here, with these you can eat whatever you'd like. And these are... discount tickets for our cafeteria. They open tomorrow at 10 in the morning. I appreciate the concern. However, these coupons do nothing for me right now. This open-air stage. What function does it serve exactly? Well, normally we use it for a variety of events. It's all to attract that extra bit of attention to Babal. I heard that tonight, over in the Alabastian Rose Garden, Ambassador Alba was to give a speech. And you know what? Manny told me that I really should give a speech too. Mr. Cochin told you that? Yes, he did. Which is why I thought I should give a speech of my own. But unfortunately, I wasn't able to. Because of the fire the Yatagrasu started. Exactly. Ah, jeez. That seems fair, Jonah. My condolences. Ambassador Poleno, I'd like to ask you a little bit more about the Primadou statues. Oh, I see. Well, let me ask you this. Did you know that Alabast and Babal used to be one country called Cadopia? Yes, I know that much about your history. Well, the Primadou statue belonged to the founders of Cadopia. At least, that's how the story goes. It was bequeathed unto the king of Cadopia as a symbol of the country's wealth. So it was meant as a symbol of sovereignty and the right to rule, I take it. Yes, that's right, which is why both countries are so adamant about their claim. We hold the real statue, therefore we hold the right to rule, is the reasoning. It's pretty petty when you think about it, though, I suppose. But if Alabast and Babal were to re-establish relations, shouldn't that put an end to the squabbling over the statue? I have no reason to believe so. The Primadou statue is even more important now as a key to diplomacy. I wonder if Ambassador Poleno knows about what has happened to the very important key to diplomacy. Perhaps I should try showing him the key and see what he has to say about it. So just to be clear what that key is it appears that during the confusion of the murders, the statues between the two countries got switched. Let's see, Rin, does anyone know of an extension that lets me turn off certain sites during certain hours of the day? Like something would block off certain sites? You actually might want to check in your router for that, Rin. Because I know there's some parental control settings that let you block certain sites based on time. And I know my router actually has those built into the router itself. And sometimes you can even tie it to specific PCs on the network too, so you're not bothering anybody else. Might be something to look into there. Let's see. The statue gives a plus 30 persuasion and deception checks. At will? At will? That's astounding. Yeah, Jonah, it thought something in there was a link. My apologies. That's totally a fair Rin. Also, probably a smart decision to take. Ambassador Poleno, there's one thing I'd like to ask you about. Yes? Oh, and don't worry, you can ask me more than just one thing. How about 2 or 3? In exchange, I expect you'll be coming to Babal, yes? Thank you, but just one thing is all I require. Manny Cochin, I'd like to ask you about this man who is your secretary. Sure, I'll tell you what I know. Thank you for your cooperation, Ambassador. He was, well, if I had to put it in one word, he was an able man. If there was ever anything I needed as ambassador, he was able to get it for me. I think that a man like that had a hand in a smuggling ring right under my nose, going completely unnoticed. Actually, I suppose because he was an able man, I was unable to detect his dirty dealings. Sounds like Mr. Cochin had a very sharp mind. Recently, Manny has been really busy. Since I became the Babalese representative at the Country Unification Council, he's been working tirelessly to cover my work for me. I'm sorry, but what is this Country Unification Council? Oh, well, you see, had tonight's events proceeded without a hitch, our two countries were to reunify and become one again. But I guess with how things turned out, that dream won't be realized anytime soon. Suppose not. Well, that's dramatic. He's big. He's always selling. He's always selling, this guy. All right, so we want to show him. Yeah, we want to show him this, I believe. He's a little too friendly. I don't trust him. There's something going on with him. Like the fact that we asked him about Manny and he got really nervous. That's suspicious. Master Polino, if you could please take a look at this for me. The Primadou statue sitting in Alabast right now actually belongs to Babal. So it would appear. I received a call from Ms. Von Karma about this earlier. Then you will understand why I wish to inspect Babal's Primadou statue immediately. Because the statue currently in your country's possession. Yes, well, I've already inspected it myself. And it is definitely Alabast statue. I know because it's the real statue. Then you're saying that Babal's was a replica? I'm embarrassed to say it's true, even though I knew that someday it would be exposed. I received my orders from the leader of Babal, and I was to negotiate with Ambassador Alba at this event. I was to negotiate with him and fix the results of the evaluation tonight. To say that we could not determine which statue was the real one. Why are you telling me all this? Well, because you already figured it out. Our statue is just a hollow gold shell. Even if Babal were to lose face, the reunification of the country is what's important. I'm right in thinking that, aren't I? I'm not making a mistake, right? If you don't know yourself, then I won't pretend to know either. I never thought that being betrayed by my own secretary, the real symbol of wealth, would be given to me. Isn't it simply ironic? It's something, alright, most definitely. Let's see. Ooh, that's a full-price game with gacha pulls. That is horrific. That is a line too far for me, definitely. Hey, where are you going? Are you heading back to Alabast? Yes, but before I do, I suppose I should give you a summary of what's happened. Oh, I see. So, there's been a murder in both countries using an object from the other country. That's the gist of it. Babal is just as strict as Alabast in their inspections of the people and things that enter their country. Meaning that somehow, both murder weapons were smuggled into the two countries. That's the only logical conclusion that can be drawn. Perhaps the key to the weapon smuggling is the person who traversed both countries. You mean the fake Yatagarasu? One way or another, the Yatagarasu is connected. Of this, I am sure. Now then, where was the Yatagarasu first spotted? I believe it was the Rose Garden on the Alabastian side of the embassy. The garden is just on the other side of this boundary. It's where Ambassador Alba was to give a speech tonight. At least, that's where I heard the Yatagarasu had appeared. In that case, I believe it's vital that I investigate the Rose Garden post-haste. Wait, before you go, take a look at this, Mr. Edgeworth. What is it? My guess is that it's a guitar pick. I picked it up just now over there. You think it'll be of any use? There's a little water on it. How did the water get on it? I know how the water can get on it, and that means it is important. Doesn't look like there's anything that could get wet from around here. I was thinking, they have concerts here in the open air stage from time to time, right? Alright, I'll find its owner later. The Jammin' Ninja is real! I always believed, in my heart of hearts. Also, speaking of free-to-play stuff, I just watched the most recent trailer for Hoyoverse's upcoming game, Zenless Zone Zero. Combat looks very good. Also, they have an entire knockoff of Mr. Driller in there, which is very exciting. I mean, I'm still playing the shit out of Star Rail, but more gachas is more better. Oh, yeah, there's one more thing. Mr. Edgeworth, would you be willing to hold on to this? What is this? It's misused perfume. It's the bottle that woman left behind and that I found 7 years ago. I thought that one day it'd be of some use in tracking her down. So I kept it safe all this time. Thank you. I'd be honored to hold on to it for you. Alright, yeah, I bet that's going to come in handy since we suspect she's involved with all this. Alright, let's head over to the Rose Garden then. I think I'll be returning to the investigation Ablaze now, but... I know. I'll go back to Babal and do some more investigating there. March 14th, 9:58 p.m., Rose Garden. I see you're back, Miles Edgeworth. I guessed right. How are things in Babal? Although I can't really say I expect much from Scruffy and that girl. We got some crunch? Thank you for letting me know. I beg your pardon, I never promised Rose Garden. Oh man. Yeah, I haven't actually gotten a chance to play Marvel Snap 2 recently just because I've been playing too much Star Rail, but I'm sure I'll go back to it eventually. It's just such a good game to just pick up and play for like 5 minutes at a time, which is in a lot of ways ideal for a mobile game, I think. This is a really nice scene, though. I like how detailed all the flowers in the water are right there. There's actually a lot going on in this scene. This is gorgeous. I don't know how much of this would have been clear in the DS version, but this looks good. Kudos to the art team for making this scene here. I think a lot of scenes in this series are pretty simplistic just because they want to make clear what is a... They want to make clear what is a clue and what isn't. But this looks really nice. What is it, statue, though? That seems like a pretty regular statue. To be clear, I think the leaf is behind the statue. I believe. I'm not 100% sure, but I think the leaf is... Yeah, because the leaf you can see is mounted on the side of the fountain. And the statue's in front of the fountain. So the two actually aren't connected. The hand just makes it look kind of like they're connected right there. Yeah, they do stand out a little bit, some guy in a hat. That's true. That's true. The investigation into Manny Cochin's death hasn't really progressed any. However, the investigation into the Yatagarasu has. Ah, yes, the Yatagarasu. Even now, I find it hard to believe. A person who can freely traverse between the two countries at will? Preposterous. Well, that's what I came here to investigate. I heard that this is where witnesses claim to have seen the Yatagarasu. That's correct. Ambassador Alba was to give a speech tonight here in Alabast. And that's when the Yatagarasu appeared. The shadow of the mysterious thief appeared, and just as suddenly it vanished. After that, there was the fire at the Babalese embassy that the Yatagarasu started. I vow that not a single feather from the Yatagarasu shall escape my diligence. Hey, I know, the stacking of the sprites there is a little bit confusing. Here, you can see when I walk over there, it's a little clearer what's where. The hand is still in a weird position, though. Also, I'm curious what I have in my logic folder. Not much. Not much. But I already have a theory about what's going on in this scene, though it's not clear when I'm going to be able to bust it out. This is an overturned spotlight here. When the Yatagarasu appeared, the audience that was waiting for the speech to start panicked. I suppose that's when someone must have knocked it over. I'm having a tough time visualizing the mass confusion that took place here. I thought to use my whip to capture the Yatagarasu. However, there were people in my way and I was unable to land even a single lash. Which just means that some other poor saps were hit instead. That's horrifying. Is it possible that the Yatagarasu hid in these bushes? Of course not! They're rose bushes! You've been spending so much time with Scruffy and that girl, they're rubbing off on you. But it's alright. I'll wake you out of your stupor. Now, the next time you feel like sleep-talking, remember that I'll whip you for real. What I tried to do is offer up a possibility, and this is what I get? I like the idea of there being a mass crowd panic and Francesca's just whipping people at random. So on brand for her. Statue of a woman. Wonder if the lady is pouring water. It says that it's a statue of the queen who spoke of love to King Primadou. Well, Miles Edgeworth, it seems that you are lousy at reading a woman's heart. Opened my mouth about a statue and she somehow made the leap to that. There are roses scattered on the surface of the water, creating a pleasant fragrance. It's not just for aesthetics. The pool's water is also used in putting out fires. I see. Oh. The pool stopped filling itself automatically. The fountain spouts are set to stay open until the pool's water reaches a certain level. This water is used to put out fires. I suppose it must be refilled to its normal level. It suggests that the pool was recently used somehow in this embassy. I'll take some notes about it just in case. Could it have been used to put out the fire? I don't know why we're not jumping to that. Very confused. Oh, God! How dare you surprise me like that? I'm sorry. Oh, hey, Edgy. Thanks for what you did back there. Your gratitude alone is enough. More importantly, Larry, this pool is not for your personal enjoyment. I know that! Do you really think that I'm the type to just jump into a pool and swim around for fun? Alright then, did you by chance fall into the pool? Nice guess, but no dice. So, you know my son, right, Edgy? Your son? I guess I kind of lost sight of him when I shook hands with the ambassador. And I'm pretty sure he was around here when I last saw— Oh! You imbecile! How can you be so flippant at a time like this? What are you going to do if your son fell into the pool? And how old is this child of yours anyway? Huh? Oh, how old is he again? Larry, this is the first I've heard of a son. Who exactly is the mother? Mother? Oh, that chick, the pink princess. Pink princess? Miss Von Karma. I was a bit confused by this man's words for a bit there. However, I believe what he is looking for is the doll of the Iron Infant. Yep, because I'm the Steel Samurai through and through, heart and soul. And the Iron Infant is my cute little son. You have given a whole new meaning to the phrase, an astounding fool. Larry, we have not seen hide nor hair of the Iron Infant. It's assured that if we should find him, we'll let you know. Now get out of there. Sounds good. In that case, I'll go search over there. Hey, wait! Well, it's not as if he'll get very far swimming around in that pool. Though he's unrelated to the murderers, he sure knows how to cause a lot of trouble. Larry! God! The water was full of butts! We need at least 2 more hours. Oh, we got plenty of that tonight. Don't worry about that. The titanium toddler! The battling baby! That's all. That's my son! The neodymium newborn! Unbelievable! Statue bears a resemblance to the Primadou statue. Plaque says King Primadou and the battlefield. In order to save the queen, King Primadou put his life on the line and went to war. So Primadou is actually a person of royal blood. I thought he was simply someone imitating a character from an ancient legend. Well, what surprises me is that a real person who looks like the Steel Samurai existed. Suppose there's that too. Hey, Folos! Welcome in. How are you doing today? Hope all is well with you. Alright, that's the same thing as the other lights. What else we got here? Was Ambassador Alba sat in this chair? Ambassador Alba is very elderly. The chair was prepared for him should he have gotten tired during his speech. In that case, why didn't he plan to make his speech sitting down in the first place? The ambassador is also quite prideful, that's why. Sounds like my old principal from grade school who'd speak at assemblies. Yeah, they keep supposedly locking down the location, so they never really do a good job at it. So this is where Ambassador Alba was to give his speech. The stage was set up nicely, however, where was the audience supposed to sit? Perhaps they were supposed to sit around the edge of the pool. Such poor planning! There was no place other than a spot or two by the pool. They really should have made seating arrangements like how the gallery is set up in court. Indeed, you can sense the consideration for the viewers was taken with those. So in the end, the speaker and his audience were to stand the whole time, Yes, although I suspect the audience would have liked to sit down after a while. Fresh off Spoopy Movie Night, yeah, what was on the agenda? I would love to hear. How's the investigation proceeding on your end? Lang Z says, that's top secret. If you're going to attempt to imitate your superior, at least do it well. I don't suppose he believes in the accidental leakage of information. Have you finished checking out all the bystanders? Yes, sir! And we found 14 counts of pickpocketing, 16 counts of illegal parking, and one person ran a red light, sir. Don't tell me you didn't find out anything related to the case. Sir, not a single thing, sir! Well, for now, let's just get those other lawbreakers down to the precinct. Agent Lang. Well, if it isn't Mr. Prosecutor. I would just like to thank you for your assistance earlier. Make no mistake, it's not like I was trying to help you with what I did. After I left, did you receive word from Ambassador Alba? We're to wrap up our bodyguard assignment at the end of today. Oddly enough, we received word from HQ to return home on an urgent matter. As if I could be so easily called away from this case after I come this far. I swear that I'll find the truth and drag it out screaming into the light. You're with me on that one, right, Mr. Prosecutor? Oh, I just heard about that one today, Folos. How did you like it? I heard really good things about it. I need to look into it more. Nuddle Masher, welcome in. How are you doing today? We're trying to solve 2 murders, but I swear I didn't do either of them. You were working as Ambassador Alba's bodyguard at the time. So naturally, you witnessed when the Yatagarasu appeared, correct? Yeah, I saw the thief all right, with my own 2 eyes. Yatagarasu was always there, lurking in the shadows. When the spotlights were turned on for Ambassador Alba's speech, a shadow appeared. That's when cries of, "It's the Yatagarasu!" rang out. The next second, the spotlight went out. And by the time we got the area lit again, the deft thief had vanished. When we investigated afterwards, we found that the reason the lights went out was because someone had unplugged the extension plug for all the outdoor electronics. Whether it was someone doing it on purpose, or simply a guest who tripped over it, we don't know. But one thing is for certain, Yatagarasu was here. So you're saying that basically all you saw was the thief's silhouette? Yes.
Objection!
If all you saw was a shadow, then it's entirely possible the shadow belonged to someone else. Heh, good thinking, sis. You just might be right. If it weren't for the fact that there was no one else with that same shape. Not among the staff or the audience members. My men have already done a thorough check of everyone, so I know I'm right. Someone else's shadow. Sounds like a plausible hypothesis. The sudden appearing and disappearing shadow of the Yatagarasu. I believe I've figured out its true origin. I expected no less from my subordinate. Now let's hear what you know on the subject. What really cast the shadow of the Yatagarasu was... Francesca, if you could take a look at this. Don't you find it a bit suspicious? Wait, is that not the right thing? Wait, is that... What? I think they might have gotten me on a technicality. Yeah, I think they got me on a technicality there. It's wonderful, strongly recommend. I will have to put it on my watch list then, thank you. What'd you have for breakfast, Noodle Masher? Let's see. No, damn it! Oh, I just wanted to look at my organizer. Shit. Ow. The suddenly appearing and disappearing shadow of the Yatagarasu. Is it not possible that it was created by this statue? Have you tried presenting your badge at this point? I may as well.
Objection!
Are you playing me for a fool, Miles Edgeworth? The statue bears absolutely no resemblance to the shadow of the Yatagarasu. You are correct. However, this statue is but one part of the whole picture. What do you mean only one part? What is the other part to the real form of the Yatagarasu? Oh, god damn it. Did you save? I did not. I absolutely did not save. I wish I could take a look at the picture of the shadow. That would be really handy. No saving, we die like men. Oh god. Why can I not look at the shadow again? If I could see that, I'd be able to figure out what the heck's going on here. Do I just have to select the light?
Take that!
No, I do not. I can save here, I guess. There we go. And I can check out my organizer here. We don't have a picture of the shadow, though. That sucks. Who knows what evil lurks in the walls of embassies? The shadow knows. I don't know. I don't remember what the shadow looks like. Oh, this is super frustrating. Super weird. Super weird. Let's see. I guess just based on the way it was leaning? Is it the other statue? Another statue? Yatagarasu's shadow was made from the shadows of these two statues. Made? What do you mean by that? Right now, the spotlights are all over the place. This is because they were moved when the guests were in a panicked state. However, if we were to restore the lights to where they were when the thief appeared, you believe that the two shadows will create the Yatagarasu's shadow. Precisely. Now then, watch as I reveal the true form of the Yatagarasu. First, if we set up a spotlight to cast a shadow of King Primedu in the battlefield, the shadow of the king's statue would appear in the backdrop of the stage. Likewise, if we set up a shadow on the queen who spoke of love to King Primedu, her silhouette would also appear on the backdrop of the stage. Aha! So if we were to combine the two shadows, it looks nothing like the Yatagarasu's shadow. Miles Edgeworth, how do you explain this grotesque shape? Calm down, Francesca. The way the light needs to be shown on the queen's statue is wrong. What do you mean by that? I believe that the whole of the king's statue needs to be used for this to work. However, in the case of the queen, I don't believe her whole shadow is needed. Rather, the person who created her shadow used only one part of her shadow. Only one part? Yes, and that part alone is enough to fill in the rest of the Yatagarasu's shadow. Why didn't you say that in the first place? You're right, I apologize. Now, what part of the statue? Thankfully, they actually showed me what I'm looking for this time, so I know.
Take that!
Think back to what is missing in our shadow. 5 long, thin areas, correct? Now, what does that remind you of? Ah! That's right. It can only be the shadow of the queen's left hand. Francesca, can we please adjust the spotlight's position so that it only shines on the queen's left hand? Alright, let's give it a try and see what we get. It's... Huh. Yeah, this is exactly like the shadow I saw. The culprit must have changed the spotlight's positioning beforehand, and then pulled the plug after people saw what the culprit wanted them to see. In their panic, the guests must have moved the spotlights around, which we can assume was also a part of the culprit's plan. By the time the lights came back on, the Yatagarasu's shadow had vanished, which means that the shadow was a construct from the very beginning. So you see, the Yatagarasu never did visit Ablaze tonight. The only country the thief visited was Babal, although it can be assumed that the Yatagarasu had an accomplice in Ablaze. An accomplice? But who? I haven't figured that out yet, but I assume it was the person who set up the shadow show. That sent to the biggest clue yet to solving this case is the existence of this accomplice. And I get my health back, thankfully. Let me get caught up on chat here. Where it did have that narwhal horn, didn't it? Kind of wild. And what does this remind you of? A bunch of bananas? Baseball glove? Detective Bad, have you come to join us in investigating the Yatagarasu? I've left the murder in Agent Lang's charge. My only target from the very beginning is the Yatagarasu. So yes. Oh yeah, we should save after that, shouldn't we? Since that kind of kicked my ass. So, what have you found out? I got a piece of evidence. May I see it? Sure, but you might regret it. We're here because we are ready to face whatever may come. So if you please. The people heard the commotion, bystanders started gathering. And one woman claimed, I'm telling you, I'm a genuine international journalist. She gave me an interesting picture. A journalist? Well, actually, she's a freelance cameraman. This is the photo I got from her. I hope that's not who I'm thinking of. It is. What in the world? Yatagarasu is flying through the air? The times they are a-changing. It's not just man, but evidence. Even they lie to us now. When was this photo taken? Apparently, right after the fires on the 4th and 5th floors were put out. It was taken from a nearby building you can see the embassy from. I see. So this was taken after the fire. Interesting. Blur in this picture took off from the Ablaze embassy, flew over the boundary, and headed for the embassy of Ablaze. This is simply not possible. People are incapable of flight. Is that a fact? I've had the pleasure of dealing with a case involving a flying person once. Actually, come to think of it, I've come across a case like that as well. 2, actually. Maybe it happens more often than we think. Am I up to the task of solving the mystery behind this photograph? No, the Yatagarasu took off from the Ablaze embassy. I should start there. Francesca, I need to return to the Bobble investigation for a bit. Alright. Alright, back we go. I'll continue investigating on this side of the building. Alright, I'm counting on you. Welcome back, Mr. Edgeworth. Now come on, let's get back to our investigation. Yes, let's. Was she just standing there the whole time? Probably. And what do I pay Delta for, and what's gonna happen next week is a mystery, Folos. It's a mystery. Baba is investigating, and hopefully Baba is key. But not Kiki. We're not doing that puzzle right now. Yeah, if they give you any guff, Folos, show them your badge. Show them your badge! March 14, 10:37 p.m., Ablaze Embassy, Secretariat's office. To think, after all that running around, we're right back where we started. It would appear that way. Hi, Mr. Edgeworth. Have you found Manny's killer yet? Terribly sorry, Ambassador Polino, but I have yet to find his killer. Then I guess his murder really was the work of the Yatagarasu. Let's get one thing straight. It was the work of the fake Yatagarasu. The real Yatagarasu is a noble vigilante who is only out to steal the truth. Miss Faraday, please don't make such a sad face. If there's anything I can do for you, all you have to do is ask, alright? Mr. Polino. Actually, there is one thing you can do. Will you allow us to take another look around? We didn't have enough time to conduct a thorough investigation earlier. Oh, sure. Please feel free to investigate to your heart's content. Also, there are a few questions I'd like to ask you personally, Ambassador. If it'll bring a smile back to Miss Faraday's face, then I'll gladly answer anything. Thank you, Mr. Polino. You're a total gentleman. You don't have to waste such nice words on me, little miss. Hey, Sir Polino! Those two sure got chummy awfully quickly. You know, it's easy to say we're going to investigate, but where should we begin? Should probably start by comparing the state of this room before and after the fire. And then we should look into the matter of the suspicious person you spotted. Yeah, when I came into this room, that person was already gone. But I'm willing to bet that person I was chasing is Mr. Cochin's killer. We don't know that yet. However, it's hard to believe that person is unrelated. Furthermore, because the key the Yatagarasu stole 7 years ago was found here, it signals that perhaps Ms. Yu is also somehow involved. I knew it! That woman is almost definitely Mr. Cochin's killer. Yet again, we don't know that. Many mysteries to be solved in this case. Speaking of the Yatagarasu and mysteries, I received a most mysterious photo from Detective Bad. Uncle Bad? He's taking part in the investigation too? Yes, he's been chasing after the Yatagarasu for all these years. Uncle Bad? Now then, I was told this photo was taken just after the fire. What? This kind of looks like the person in the long coat I was chasing. Does that mean that I was chasing the fake Yatagarasu after all? I don't know the answer to your question, but I don't think people can fly either. But this could be how that person escaped. Well, we'll need to investigate a bit more before we can say anything about that. In any case, let's not dawdle anymore and pick up our investigation where we left off. Well, we were never able to investigate over by the window before, so we got a couple things over here we need to look at, and some of them I believe are going to be very interesting. Rin, you feel like you might be the cause for the knowledge? Possibly. Possibly. I keep thinking, every time I say ball, I'm thinking Bubblehead dolls. It appears that this area was heavily damaged by the fire. Yeah, I guess we should hurry up and get started examining everything. Alright, let's see what we get. Lot to look at here. That looks like a very comfortable chair. Doesn't look all that broken, so why don't you try sitting in it? No, I'd better not. It's very important that we preserve the crime scene at all times. Wait, but you're always touching all sorts of things, crime scenes. It's because I am a prosecutor and it's part of my job to examine things. And my job is to be a great thief. Exactly why you're not allowed to touch anything. It would appear that this desk also fell victim to the fire. But it doesn't look too damaged. Ooh, I think we can rifle through this drawer for a bit. Suppose we really should take a look. It's a rather unusual shape for a notepad. Suppose this must be another souvenir from somewhere. I do recognize that shape. I believe. Shape of this notepad matches the shape of this note we found. Hey, you're right! What is it? It looks like something straight out of Monument Valley. Ah, yes, that notepad is a souvenir from somewhere in your country. We've been collecting them for the purpose of studying them, you see. Yes, I do. You do seem to be quite passionate about it. Oh, would you like to see my souvenir collection? I'd love to show you. Sure they haven't been burnt to a crisp by the fires? Master Polino, I wonder if you might recognize the handwriting on this note. This looks like Manny's handwriting. I see. In that case... Oh, did you figure something out? This note was found in Alabast. Specifically, it was found being firmly grasped by the murdered Damask II. Damask II? Then this note! Yes, it was a request from Mr. Cochin for Damask II to steal the Primedew statue. What? Manny tried to steal Alabast's Primedew statue? We would know for sure if we could run a handwriting analysis. Ambassador, do you have any documents that were handwritten by Mr. Cochin? Yes, I can gather a few and give them to you. I'll have to ask Detective Gumshoe later to run the analysis. I can't believe that Manny would even think of doing something like that. Do you have any idea as to why he would have requested the theft of the statue? There is one possibility, but mind you, it's just my personal speculation. Anything you can tell me would be of great help, Ambassador. I'll have to check in with him in a minute there. Alright. That all there is to see at the desk, or is there anything else there? Probably some other stuff to see. So I guess embassy phones are just like normal phones, huh? Well, what did you imagine them to look like? I thought the baubles would look like a flower and the receiver would be a butterfly. That way, it would look like the butterfly receiver was sucking nectar from the flower base. If any country had a flower phone, it would be Alabast, don't you think? Oh, then maybe the phone I envisioned would have been from when they were Cadopia. Did they no point in asking me about something that never existed in the first place? Huh, you know what you lack, Mr. Edgeworth? Curiosity and an imagination. There's only one book left standing here. Treasures of the World. Wait, what? Let me see that. Huh? I see. Ah! The most important part was blackened by the fire. Why, cruel fate, why? It's like the map of where the treasures are located has been burnt. There's a bottle of Ablaze ink on Mr. Cochin's desk. It looks like there's still a lot of ink left inside. The seal is unbroken, so the fire probably couldn't get into the bottle to burn up the ink. Hey, Mr. Polino, looks like your precious Ablaze ink is all right after all. What? That's odd.
Hold it!
Ambassador, what do you mean by that? Well, it's just that there is something strange about the ink. Would you mind elaborating on that statement for me, please? I'll have to ask him about that, too. Alright, so it sounds like we've seen everything here. Everything we need to see, anyway. Let's see what else there is. Looks like a bunch of flyers with coupons attached to them. Babble sure gives away a lot of different coupons. Maybe I should create one of my own. I could call it the Great Thief Coupon. And what kind of discount would that net you? The 5-finger kind, what else? I'd steal an extra thing or two for the bearer. Things such as? Such as the truth. What else would I steal? I wouldn't give to have a mountain of your coupons right now. Alright, so there's just more flyers. Alright, that's probably all there is we need to see. I'll take a look at the fireplace, too. Fireplace, huh? So Bobble's offices have them, too. Two? There's a fireplace in relatively the same location in the Alabastian office. However, we found something there I'd rather not recall ever again. Still can't believe that we found that lady's undershirt in the fireplace. If it was that traumatizing, why don't you try creating new memories with this fireplace? You could climb inside and we could play hide and seek. Come out covered in soot? I think not. Ah, you really have no sense of fun, Mr. Edgeworth. You can see the Alabastian embassy through this window. So where were you when you were investigating over there, Mr. Edgeworth? Ah, you can see it from here. I was there on the 5th floor. That's where Damask 2 was killed. What? You don't mean the Damask 2? Aw, poor guy. As a fellow second-generation thief, I can't just turn a blind eye to this. You know Damask 2 is really an imposter of the original? Alright. Now then, Ambassador, I'd like to ask about your movements before the fire broke out. Before the fire? Which fire are you talking about? Which one? There was more than one tonight? Huh? Oh, I see. I guess you didn't hear about it. We had 2 fires here at the Ablaze embassy tonight. What a bother all of that was. Wait, but the only fire we know about was the one after the Jammin' Ninja show. Well, the first occurred at the start of the Jammin' Ninja show. Luckily, only the 4th and 5th floors of our embassy caught fire. Not wanting to cause a panic among the theater goers, we decided to keep it internal. Then the fire after the Jammin' Ninja show was the second one of the night. Exactly. So the fire I witnessed was the second one. Come to think of it, didn't Detective Bad make a reference to the first fire? When was this photo taken? Apparently, right after the fires, on the 4th and 5th floors were put out. I suppose this means that the photo was taken just after the first fire was put out. Interesting. So then, what was the extent of the damage of the second fire? The second fire was contained at this floor, the 3rd floor. And I think it was leftover embers from the fire on the floors above that caused it. That's, how should I put it, a very bad stroke of luck. My office on the 5th floor, Manny's office here. And Manny himself. All gone in the blink of an eye. Hey, Ellie Lawrencewood, welcome in. Why are we only finding out now? I don't know. Everybody in Phoenix Wright Games are just very hesitant to share information. It's maddening. Alright, we got a note about the fires, though. I feel so sorry for you, Mr. Polino. Oops, look at me going on and on. Now then, what was it you wanted to ask again? We were discussing what your actions and whereabouts for today were. And if you happen to know what Mr. Cochin's actions and whereabouts were as well. Yes, very well. Let's see, I've been quite busy all day from morning until now. First I woke up, then I brushed my teeth. After that I had a roll for breakfast. Fascinating. How about if you just skip to the relevant parts for me? Oh, you'd like a condensed version? Alright, I can do that for you. So, what did Mr. Cochin and you do this morning? Well, originally we were supposed to meet and shake hands with the Jammin' Ninja. Manny and I wanted to turn it into a photo op, so we were here tidying up his office. Helped clean Mr. Cochin's office? Why are we not cleaning your own? Oh, I think I forgot to mention this, but my office is currently undergoing renovations. Which is why both the Primadou statue and the Ablaze knife sets are down here. I see. Oh, but the tidying didn't take much, really. We just burned some files we no longer needed and expired coupons in the fireplace. I bet cleaning up the fireplace must have been a real pain, though, huh? About that. I kind of forgot to clean the ashes out. I guess I'm up a creek without Manny here to get angry at me. An ambassador like yourself has been on the receiving end of a secretary's anger? Oh, he was very good at being very mad. Why, even just this morning he got mad at me. I spilled some Ablaze ink onto the back wall when I was burning the files, you see. And he got mad at me, saying that I should treat the ink with more respect. Apparently orders go up the chain of command around here. Good evening, Board James. How are you doing today? That's about it for what we did this morning. Just some cleaning. Don't tell me you had no other work to do, being an ambassador and all. And check the organizer real quick. So what was that last piece of evidence that went in? Spilled Ablaze ink onto the back wall, left ashes there. Alright. Interesting. Now then, if you could tell me what you and Mr. Cochin did this afternoon. Well, Manny and I went down together to the Theatrum Neutralis. Yeah, this music's fancy as hell, Dad. I'm kind of digging it. We had to be there for when the start of the Seal Samurai stage show. After the show started, I went back to my office on the 5th floor alone. They were together until the start of the Seal Samurai show. A little while later, after I'd straightened myself up a bit, I returned to the theater, because I was to take part in the photo op on stage at the end of the show. It was the commemorative photo op at the end. It was a fantastic photo of the three of us, Ambassador Alba, the Steel Samurai, and myself. After the photo shoot, I went back to my office on the 5th floor to prepare for my handshake photo op with the Jammin' Ninja. Seems to be rather overworked for an ambassador. When I got to my office, that's when the first fire broke out and I escaped down the stairs. My office was completely destroyed, but thankfully no one was hurt. I admit I ran away from the first fire as fast as my legs could carry me. But during the second one, I pitched in and helped the embassy staff put it out. So you didn't see Mr. Cochin again after the start of the Seal Samurai show. Yes, that's right. The next time I saw him, he was lying there in an eternal sleep. I see. Master Polino, I thank you very much for your help. I'm sorry I couldn't be of more assistance, Mr. Edgeworth. If there's anything else, please don't hesitate to ask, alright? Wookie Cookie, welcome in! He loves doing that finger wag. How are you doing today? How's your weekend going? His design makes me think he's up to something. Also, how's things going with you today, Ball Blair? I wonder if you might tell me what you noticed about Mr. Cochin's bottle of ink. I just thought of it now, but... During the second fire, Manny was worried about his office, so he came rushing back to it. I called out to him, and when I received no reply, I used my spare key to open the door. But when I did, I was greeted by roaring green flames. The flames were so big that I wasn't able to see into the room at all. Fire was green. What was the cause? Well, white crystal oil burns green when it's lit, as you can see by this lantern. And Bobbly's ink is made from the same oil, which means it would also burn green. You know, I too had thought it was Manny's ink that had caught on fire. So that's why I was surprised to find out there was still a bottle of ink left on his desk. Case of the perplexing green flames. Talk about a mystery. What exactly was it that caught on fire in here? I believe that you said you might have an idea as to why Mr. Cochin hired Damask 2. Actually, I fear it may be my fault. As I was telling you earlier, we were to determine which statue was the real one as a part of today's event. But because of the Yatagarasu and the fire here, that got cancelled, didn't it? I'm actually relieved the rest of the event had been cancelled. For you see, Bobble's statue, well, it's just a replica. And did Mr. Cochin know about Bobble's Primedew statue? Of course he knew. That's why he was the only person I could consult with. We'd have to do something once our statue was revealed as a replica. And to be expected, I was very nervous today, as this would impact our country's authority. Yes, I understand. Well, when I told Manny my concerns, he said, "Let me handle it. It'll be alright. I'll find a way to make sure you're the ambassador of the reunited Cadopia." At the time, I thought he was just trying to cheer me up. When I saw that note, I realized he was serious. Mr. Cochin conducted a lot of business behind your back. I assume he did all that to ensure that you are the next Cadopian ambassador. But why was he trying so hard, I wonder? He was so much better at getting things done than I ever was or will be. I don't know the answer to why he was trying so hard, yet. But I suspect he had an ulterior motive in mind beyond just simple kindness. He does seem like a bit of a snake in the grass. Oh, here you are, Mr. Edgeworth! Ace Attorney does love their character designs communicating something true. It's good though. I like a character that as soon as you look at him, you feel like you know a little something about the character. Alright, what do we got here? Detective Gumshoe, have you collected the information that I requested? Yep, got it all right here, sir. Here you go, Kay. Feel free to take a look. It's for you, after all. What is all this, Gummy? It's all the information on the room that I got from the embassy and Interpol people. Now we know exactly how this room was before and after the fire. Good work, Detective. Ah, it was nothing, sir. I'm an expert at getting people to talk. Wow, you two remind me so much of my father and Uncle Bad. What do you mean? As prosecutor and detective, your dynamic is just like theirs back in the day. Well, don't you worry. I'm going to find my own wonderful partner someday. And when I do, I'm going to become a good Yatagarasu, just like my father, right? Please don't ask me questions to which I have no answers to, Kay. However, I can say that it is truly a wonderful thing to find a partner you can trust. You bet! So, what now, Mr. Edgeworth? Well, I'd like to ask you for a favor. Yes? That gadget. Mr. Thief, is it? The thing you call your secret weapon. Oh, you mean Little Thief? You're coming to rely on it, aren't you? I don't need a crutch like that. I'm only asking because I need it for the investigation. The information Detective Gumshoe gathered and the ambassador's testimony. I'd like you to please recreate this room as it was during the third floor fire. You got it! Alright, here we go! Dark skies of evening, when no other bird dares take wing, one alone remains all-seeing. Now witness the true power of a real modern-day Robin Hood. Does she have to do the full Magical Girl sequence every single time? Seems there are other things besides what the ambassador mentioned that have changed. It's possible that we might find the escape route the person Kay saw used as well. Oh, what is this? Is this some sort of light show I was not told about? This is the power of a true vigilante. It's recreating the room with the info I inputted. Really? This is certainly one interesting device you have there, Miss Faraday. I believe it's about time we return to our investigation. I see a couple interesting things here. Gizmo won't work without the speech, it's all very technical. Have you not seen Sailor Moon? I actually have seen a bunch of Sailor Moon. Oh, it's the verbal component, of course, and her pressing the buttons, technically the hand gestures, right? Let's go ahead and save here, because we haven't saved in a little bit. And then, yeah, see a few interesting things, but this is the most interesting thing here. The somatic component, I was trying to remember. So, Bobble is really into pushing their tourism industry, huh? Yes, it would appear that way. You know, I'd really love to take a trip. Hey, why don't we take one after this case? You already have a destination in mind. Well, ideally, I'd like to go someplace where I can continue my thief's training. Well, if you want to learn the fine art of stealth, perhaps you should visit the studio where they make the Jammin' Ninja TV show. Hey, that's actually a really great idea, Mr. Edgeworth. I can't believe she took me seriously. And the Orc's necklace is the material component, oh god. Hey, Warden, welcome in. How's your weekend going? Oh, yeah, I still need to check out Phase sometime. Oh, it is today the day? Oh my god, Myst is 30 years old today. Holy shit. I actually played Myst when it first came out. Wasn't any good at the time, but I did. That is amazing. Charred remains of a fallen ceiling fan. Oh, I've seen a few of these before. They spin around and play music. If you're thinking of a musical mobile for babies. Yeah, that's it. They're nothing alike. They're totally alike. They spin those babies right round like a record. Okay. I see. I guess I can see how you might think that. Right round, baby! Right round! Like a record, baby! These must have been the large green flames Ambassador Polano saw. With flames like these, it's no wonder he couldn't get in. Kay, by the time you came into the room, had the fire already been put out? Yeah, the fire died out or something by that time. And the fire here only burned from the time the fire started on the 3rd floor until the Yatagarasu appeared and caused a stir and babal, I suppose. I guess Mr. Polano was just lucky enough to run into this fire as it was burning, huh? Yes, you could put it that way. Since you were the first to discover the body, you can assume that no one else entered the room until that time. No one other than the person you were chasing, of course. I knew it! That person I saw was definitely up to no good. I mean, that person could even be Mr. Cochin's killer. That is very likely to be the case. After all, that person came into this room before you. They must have chosen this room precisely because they knew no one would be in here. Okay, then maybe the green fire was where it was in to prevent anyone from coming in. But then, what did the person set on fire to make the green flames? Well, whatever it is that person burned, it made a rather sizable fire. And since the fire is green, well, we've seen something that burns green, right? It's a bit tinier than those flames, but you get what I mean. Yes, I do believe that what you were thinking is exactly why those flames are green. Which fire-related piece of evidence burns the same color as those green flames?
Take that!
The source of the green in these flames is related to this. Wait, it's not the ink? I mean, it is technically the ink. Is it the lamp then? What are we doing here? I guess it could be the lamp. I mean, we know the ink does burn green, but apparently that's not the thing.
Take that!
The silhouette lantern. Its green flame comes from the white crystal oil it's burning. Yeah, that's the fire I was thinking of too. I love the green it gives off. I think we've now established that the green flames were caused by white crystal oil. Furthermore, we know that there is only one other thing made from white crystal oil. Oh, you mean the thing Mr. Polino was mistaken about, right? Yes, precisely, as we found out earlier in our investigation. What? I don't get it. Can you fill me in, sir? Fine, I suppose. I'll explain it in a way even you can understand. This is the thing made from white crystal oil the Ambassador Polino was mistaken about.
Take that!
There we go. Ablaze ink is made from white crystal oil. Oh, so it should burn the same color as the flames in the lantern, right? Yes, precisely. However, the green flames in this room were not from a bottle of Ablaze ink. That's actually kind of tricky. Because we found the ink and Mr. Cochin used on his desk, right? Yes, however, we know that Mr. Cochin was smuggling the ink in massive quantities. Now, what do you suppose he made using all that ink? I believe what he made with that ink is the answer to what gave birth to the green flames. Oh yeah, I'm beginning to really feel the energy coming from you, Mr. Edgeworth. It would appear that I've finally found the smuggling ring's real goal. Made of Ablaze ink, this is the source of the green flames.
Take that!
What would consume that great of a volume of ink to make? That would be the counterfeit bills the smuggling ring made and are circulating in Zhengfa. You're kidding! You're saying that it was Mr. Cochin who made the counterfeit bills? I am. I believe you could even go so far as to say he stole Bobble's printing press. Ambassador, Mr. Cochin had permission to freely use the printing press, right? Why, yes, and I do remember seeing it in use in the middle of the night. But never did I think he was using it for such a foul deed. Ambassador, because of your secretary's crimes, you will need to be investigated as well. Yes, I suppose so. We've caused a bit of trouble for a few countries, haven't we? It's my duty to search out all who shielded Mr. Cochin and concealed his crime. Or they are the ones who started the fire in order to destroy the evidence. All right. Let me get caught up here. Oh yeah, I remember the Psycho Manus fight. Oh, that's really cool! That is an incredibly neat feature. You know what the downside there is, LTG? Is now I'm gonna have to buy a third copy of that goddamn game. Is it third? It's fourth if you count Twin Snakes. The joys of retro collecting. The struggles are real. Worded you might have stayed up too late playing Death's Door and paying the price for it. How'd it go though? I heard that game was really cool. Oh yeah, Rin played some of that too. I remember watching her stream some of it. Seemed like a really neat game there. You do count Twin Snakes? Yeah, I have 4 copies then. Or I will have 4 copies. Emperor, thank you so much for a gift sub to Wookie Cookie right there. Gift sub number 1,434 in the channel. I appreciate the heck out of that, Emperor. Fire hot, bribe spicy. Thank you so much for that, Emperor. I appreciate. Insomnomnomnomnomnia. Let's see. Shane, so question, preferred type of chicken, rotisserie, fried, or grilled? Ooh, good question. I think I would go fried, then grilled, then rotisserie. Although in fairness, I haven't eaten a ton of rotisserie chicken in my time. So I don't have a lot to go on. But fried's definitely my favorite, and I like grilled as well. Also, welcome in, Kumatori. How are you doing today? Hope you are doing well. Warden, you love playing it, though you did wake up significantly later than normal. It happens. Gaming into the night, we've all done it. We've all done it. Oh my god, some guy had a hat. I had some ruined nights doing that with Persona 3 back in the day. Ooh. LTG rotisserie for you, then fried, then yes for anything else. I'm down with that as well. EP rotisserie is your favorite too? I need to eat more rotisserie chicken. For science, of course, you understand. Also, I did see that shout out there, and I did not have time to actually do anything with it. So let's do another one right there. Oh no, it's still on cooldown! Oh, damn it. Rotisserie is a three-way chicken. Rin, that sounds like the start of some Zen cone. I'm interested. Defeated by the system. Science chicken. Because you get to eat it the first night, sure. Then the leftovers are for salads or whatever, also true. Also delicious. And then you use the carcass for stock. Oh yeah, homemade stock, delicious. I've never actually made my own, but I'd like to try that sometime. All right, so I see the next thing we need to look at in this room. You guys are sleeping occasionally. His grandfather clock was apparently in a different position before the fire. According to staff members, the clock was flush against the wall before the fire, sir. Which means that most likely it was moved by someone during the fire. Speaking of which, it's totally 11 o'clock now, but I don't hear any chiming. Huh? That's odd. It was still chiming right on the dot of every hour this morning. Maybe the fire damaged its internal mechanisms or something. Master Polino, may we take a look inside that clock? Sure, go right on ahead. Detective Gumshoe, if you could please inspect the insides of this clock. Yes, sir, I'm on it. Mr. Edgeworth, I found this inside, sir. It looks like a length of wire. So this is what caused the clock to stop chiming. But what a long length of wire doing inside this clock in the first place? That is an interesting question. Why would someone do this to such a valuable clock? Sounds like it wasn't Mr. Polino that put the wire in there. Perhaps it was Mr. Cochin's killer who did. And then you can turn the stock into a reduction. Ooh, that is advanced, though. I've never actually had homemade reduction either. that almost was a full poem there, Emperor. Where's Jivebot when you need him? Hey, Jedi Master Grogu, welcome in. How are you doing today? All hail the Jive. Jivebot's still one of my favorite video game characters. Looks like one of the Ablaze knives is already missing before the fire began. So it would seem, especially since the other two knives' handles were burned away. The remaining handle was swapped out with the handle from the real murder weapon. And Bobble's national treasure was stolen. Poor Bobble, don't you think? Not sure I would lump the replica statue in with the rest of Bobble's woes. Hey, Deathblow, welcome in, and thank you for the raid there. How are you doing today, Deathblow? How was your stream? What were you playing? Tell me everything. I would love to hear. Hope everything went well for you today. Alright. A couple other things to take a look at. What's going on down here? Oh no, it's just the, it's just because the chair was knocked over. It's just mentioning that he got moved there. Alright. Nothing else to look at in that case. Alright, check out the curtain here. Oh no, is it, they're not looking at the curtain either? Damn it. Alright, we'll have to look at the fireplace, and then if there's nothing else to see there, we'll see if we can talk to anybody. Maybe we have to use some logic, possibly. Let's see. Deathwell playing the Outer Worlds just stumbled upon some cannibals, I believe. Ooh, it's a hell of a cliffhanger right there. Hope you're enjoying it so far. I've wanted to play that one, have not gotten around to it yet. Nope, he doesn't say anything new about the fireplace either. Interesting. That's super weird. Come on. Such a long conversation. Gotta run though, wife. Someone's enjoy your Android game. I will try to. And thank you for bringing your community by. I appreciate that, Death Below. Alright, so let's check what we got in our logic. Or let's save first, then we'll check what we got in our logic folder. Not a strong connection between those two, so let's hold off on that for right now. He doesn't have anything new to say. Let's see if Gumshoe does. Detective, you took part in the initial Bobble investigation, correct? Yep, sure did. I also helped put out both fires, sir. But that first fire took me by surprise. I had a tough time escaping the 5th floor. First I tried the elevator, but I guess someone else had the same idea because it was in use. If I hadn't remembered to use the stairs at that point, I'd have been burnt to a crisp. Wait, that's odd. We always warn our staff that in the case of a fire, it's dangerous to use the elevator. Don't use the elevator if there's a fire. Oh? Maybe someone wrote it in a fit of panic. Detective, did you see the Yatagarasu that came into the Bobbleese embassy at all? I didn't personally. And the other staff members told me they never got a good look at the person either, sir. Wonder if you could tell me a bit more about what you discovered, Detective. Yeah, that seems very interesting right there. Don't be a gumshoe! Don't be a gumshoe! The second fire broke out around the time the Yatagarasu was spotted in Alabast. That's also when a suspicious person was spotted in Bobble, which caused a panic. So no one was able to get a good look at this Yatagarasu that entered Bobble. Yeah, all they saw was a mysterious person wearing a long coat. But that's not enough to make a positive ID, you know? Still, it was enough to make the people who received the calling card panic even more. The person in the long coat sounds like the exact same person I saw. The Yatagarasu that appeared in Alabast was proven to be just a fabrication, a shadow. In light of that fact, the Yatagarasu that appeared in Bobble is also suspect. You can't be serious! Not when we're this close to capturing the fake! I mean, Callisto, you! So the Yatagarasu appeared, causing mass confusion, killed Mr. Cochin, then disappeared. Alright. Interestingly enough, last time I stayed in a hotel, when my bathrooms were being renovated, I was still keeping my night shift schedule, so I was sleeping during the day. And I had to evacuate the hotel from the 5th floor. Got woken up because of the fire alarm. Turned out somebody 2 floors below me was microwaving popcorn. Microwaved the shit out of it, set off the fire alarm. Here's a good life tip for you. If you're not in the safety of your own home, don't make popcorn. Just don't. Too risky. Too risky. We actually had somebody almost set off the fire alarm at my work once by making popcorn. And because setting off our fire alarm would have set off the fire suppression, which costs between $50,000 and $60,000 to reset, they fired his ass. So to recap, he made popcorn incorrectly and then fired him. So just don't do it. Just don't do it. You don't make wild pop. What is wild popcorn? Let's see. Rin, having been in a similar situation in a hotel, if you're not in the privacy of your own home, don't sleep starkers. Also seems like good advice. By the way, Detective, why did you not chase after the Yatagarasu? I did, but, well, this embassy's huge, sir. I got separated from the other staff members I was with and was lost for a while there.
Hold it!
You didn't even memorize the layout of the building you were to guard, Detective? I'll be sure to do that from now on, sir. But you know, it was thanks to me being lost that I was able to come to Kay's rescue. Oh, is that a fact? Yeah, it was when I was lost and wandering around in the 3rd floor hallway, sir. When I heard a scream, I headed towards it right away. Oh, that's probably from when I found Mr. Cochin's body. Yeah, I thought it sounded like her, so I got real worried and ran as fast as I could. And it was thanks to Gummy that Miss Shina wasn't able to take me away. He covered for me until you got here, Mr. Edgeworth. Oh, I see. So he can be useful once in a blue moon. Still, it's too bad that Agent Shina got here before I did. I wonder where Agent Shina was before you found her here. Well, just before I got to the room, I saw her coming out of the room next door. Alright, that's interesting. Agent Shina mentioned something about chasing the Yatagarasu herself earlier. Well, she apparently helped in putting out the first fire. Then, during the second fire, I heard she was busy chasing the Yatagarasu. She seems to be a very dedicated agent. You'd do well to learn from her. Why are you pointing at me when you say that, sir? We've examined everything in this office, but there is one thing that bothers me. Perhaps I should ask Ambassador Polino about it. Ambassador Polino, there's something I'd like to ask you about. Yes? About this office, it appears to me to be very similar to Ambassador Alba's office. For example, the location of the fireplace and the position of the grandfather clock. Ah, that's right. You also paid a visit to the Alabastian side of the embassy. Our two embassies actually used to be one. Yes, I know, even the pamphlet mentioned that. Which is why the building is bilaterally symmetrical. So no matter which room, the location of the fireplace and the like are exactly the same. Even where the art is located is the same, as my room is currently under renovation. We worked hard to make Manny's room look like the ambassador's office. You mean for your handshake photo op with the Jammin' Ninja? Yes, that's right. I mean, what's a photo like that worth if it's not taken in the ambassador's office, right? Yet another odd expression of Bobble's obsessively competitive spirit with Alabast, I take it. Thank you, Ambassador. That piece of information is all I needed to connect the dots. Connect what dots? Well, anyway, I'm glad I was able to be of some help. Alright, I suspect we need to use some logic now, so let's save first. LTG, your parents went to Paris for a holiday, but the fire alarm went off in their hotel. Oh, jeez! Well, that's super awkward, LTG. Popcorn is serious business? I mean, it's just so easy to make it put out tons of smoke. It's horrifying. Yeah, how is Gumshoe not demoted yet? They have docked his pay constantly. It's sort of a running gag in the series. They've docked his pay so many times he can barely live. TLDR flight to Japan, it's much safer. Fair enough. Fair enough. Alright. Let's check the logic folder again. Alright, so the fireplaces in Alba's office are connected. And the building has bilateral symmetry. The Alabastian and Bobble's offices, sides of the building are symmetrical to one another. As we know that to be a fact, then this room's fireplace may also hide a secret passageway. Secret passageway? In Alabast, the fireplace turned out to have a revolving back wall. A revolving wall? Sounds like something out of a ninja house. Wow, there's a trick like that built in the fireplace, sir? What? This embassy holds that kind of secret? There seems to be a lot about this room you don't know about, Ambassador. I guess it's time to pay the bill for letting Manny do so much work for me. Please, I really do want to know about the real Manny and what you know about this room. What are you waiting for, Mr. Edgeworth? Let's get to the bottom of this. Agreed. My first thought is that it's likely the killer used the revolving fireplace. Faison, welcome in. How are you doing today? Good to have you with us. Looks like just another fireplace though, doesn't it? So how do you turn it again? Alabast, I had to push where the X was on the far wall of the fireplace. Oh, I see an X back there, sir. Let's see what happens when I push it.
Hold it!
Ah! You scared me, sir. Ooh, what'd you get for lunch today, Faison? There's something about this fireplace that lies in contradiction to the facts. We found an X where you thought there'd be one, right? We did, but that's not what I was referring to. Something is missing from this scene. What does this contradiction mean for us? Right here. Let me check my organizer first, though. See if I have what I need to prove this. Ah, there we go. Go, and we compare that to the testimony here. Master Polino, you said that you burned some old fires in this fireplace today, correct? Yes, I burned quite a few files this morning, actually. And after you did, you forgot to clean out the ashes from the fireplace, correct? That's right, but why are you asking? Why are you making such a scary face? I'm sorry, I admit I am a bit intimidating when mysterious. In any case, take a good look at this fireplace and tell me what you find odd about it. Let's see. Huh? Where did all the ashes go? What is the meaning of this, Mr. Edgeworth? You don't really think that Ambassador Polino is lying, do you? No, there's no reason for him to lie. And I don't believe his testimony is wrong either. It is the fireplace that is causing the contradiction. Kay, I wonder if you might update the fireplace data for me. You got it! I'll add in the ashes from the burnt files and... Sounds like we've pretty much figured everything out now, huh? See, things on you had carrot rice, banana, yogurt, blueberries, some chicken and peppers. That sounds really tasty, though. Sounds like a good lunch. Hope you enjoyed it. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust in the vacuum cleaner. That's what we'll have to search next. Well, it was nothing. All I did was follow where our leads led us. Oh, I sense it coming on. You're about to dazzle us again, right? Oh, you mean that? Well, that's what Mr. Edgeworth is known for, you know? There's really no need for you two to dance around the name of what I'm about to do. Let's see, so the ashes are missing. The fireplace revolves. Actually, hang on, it says I need to examine it more. Can we examine it more now? Or do we need to do logic next? Let's take a look at the fireplace. Nope, I guess we need to do logic next. I'm gonna logic this son of a bitch! Why would someone in an Ace Attorney game lie to you? I can't even imagine. Alright. So the ashes are missing, but we know the fireplace may revolve, it may have been used. The reason as to why the ashes are missing is simple. It's not because someone cleaned them up, right? No, because even if someone did sweep them up, the fireplace is too clean for that. Master Polino said that he spilled some Bobbly's ink while he was burning the files. And yet, there is not a trace of the spilled ink on the back wall anywhere. Well then, I don't know what happened. Well, I'll tell you what happened. The two sides were switched. By using the revolving fireplace wall, the ashes were moved into the neighboring room. Which means that this is a clear indication that the fireplace was used. Interesting, interesting. Then you mean the person I was chasing disappeared from this room through there? Yes, I believe the person you are in pursuit of is Mr. Cochin's killer. And after committing the murder, escaped through the fireplace. Ooh, what game are you working on modding, Follows? I'm curious. A certain ocelot would love this fireplace. A certain ocelot that loves a certain type of weapon. Wow, Mr. Edgeworth, you figured out the killer's escape route. I have, but this is only the beginning. Now we have to chase the killer down. Because here's the thing. The killer escaped through the revolving fireplace to the room next door. But she now was in the room next door. Nerf Ocelot. If the killer used the fireplace in this room to escape into the next, then it's only logical for us to talk with the person who is in the neighboring room. Well, the person that was in the next room was... Oh, it was that person, sir! Yes, Detective. Agent Sheena. Investigation complete. What I'm thinking some guy in a hat is I think the base is like some sort of lazy Susan that turns around as well. Possibly. Gimme Kubo. It's looking more and more like Miss Sheena is the killer, isn't it? Let's not jump to conclusions yet. We need to go through what we know so far. She came running straight into the room from the next one and instantly accused you. Furthermore, she claimed that it could only have been you that killed Mr. Cochin. I don't have any proof yet, however I know she is hiding something from us. Okay then, why don't we go ask Miss Sheena herself?
Hold it.
No, not yet. There's something that needs to be done first. Detective Gumshoe. Sir, is it my turn to do something, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, I have a two-part special assignment for you. First, I need you to run a handwriting analysis on Damask 2's note. Okay, I'll get the lab boys on that right away. Second, I want you to see if you can fit through the revolving fireplace wall. Right now, sir? No, next decade. Of course now! We need to test our hypothesis first, don't we? Go on, Gummy, you can do it! All right, I'm gonna do this like a real man. Here I go, through the fireplace and back. Shouldn't need to psych yourself up that much for such a simple task, Detective. Wow, the wall inside the fireplace really did turn. That's so neat. Now I want to try going through there too. There really is a secret passageway through there. I had no idea. It would appear that the ash really was pushed into the other room. Furthermore, the Ablaze ink you spilled, Ambassador, is there on the back wall. Okay, here I go, sir!
Hold it.
Detective, I'd like you to go through there under the same conditions as the killer. Huh? But there's all that ash and stuff. And your point is? We're short on time, so if you could please hurry through. Yes, sir. Okay, so now we pretty much have the whole picture, right? No, not yet. There remains a few more mysteries to solve, such as the Yagarasu's whereabouts, the other smuggling ring members, 2 weapons that made it across the border, the key Ms. Yu stole 7 years ago. In fact, we haven't figured out a thing regarding how Ms. Yu is related to these embassies. Mr. Edgeworth. A number of pieces connecting in a very complicated way in this case. It's almost enough to make one completely mentally exhausted. What are you saying, Mr. Edgeworth? I thought you were the one who said it's easy if you follow the leads. Was that supposed to be an impression of me, Kay? If it's info gathering you need, Gummy and I can help with that. Then all you'd have to do is show off your fancy schmancy logical deductions. Show off? Does it seem like I'm being boastful when I do that? Let's not overcomplicate matters, okay, Mr. Edgeworth? We've been so focused like a laser, only on what seems strange and out of place. It's no wonder nothing's clicked and we haven't unlocked anything yet. But if we think things through calmly, the answer should come to us. Hey, that's the sort of thing I say to myself when I'm practicing how to unlock padlocks, you know. That is something that I hope practice doesn't make perfect for your sake. Ha! Yay! Looks like you're back to your straight-laced self again. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, I'm back, sir! Yes, I can see that. Good work, Detective. Looks like you can use the fireplace second door, sir. Are you alright, Gummy? I'm okay. Just a bit of ash and dust, that's all. Your jacket has gotten quite filthy. I see the hem has practically turned black. Yeah, well, quite a bit of the unburned ink you got on it, sir. I see. Thank you, Detective. You did a fine job. I'll even pay the cleaning bill for the trench coat. What? Oh, no, sir, I could never. This is my old coat, sir. If it was a coat I actually cared about, then I'd get it clean, but, you know. I see. Very well then, as you wish. Let me get caught up on chat here. When do we get our next objection? Hopefully soon. We've been doing nothing but investigating all day today. And Zigcat, how's everything going? Let's see, why is the embassy so grubby? How long have we been standing there? Groshin, welcome in. There was a fire. There was 2 fires, actually. They've had a really bad day. They're in the middle of a renovation, and there's been 2 fires. Also 2 murders, also some thefts. It's been a really long night here. Does he blow his paycheck on coats? Do you think he'd need it all for food at this point? So, because Gummy was able to climb through the fireplace, we know it can be used, right? Yes, but that's not all we learned. We actually learned one other important fact. And that is... I'll have to explain it to you later. I know what it is! That's if you go through, you'd probably get ashes on you, which is important. Is that why he's destitute? Well, that and the fact they don't pay him well. Right now, we need to deal with the handwriting analysis. Detective Gumshoe? Yes, sir! I'll be back before you know it! The handwriting analysis on Mr. Cochin's handwriting will take a bit of time. Let's go and wait in the Theatrum Neutralis along with Agent Lang and Agent Sheena. To be continued. Alright. Rent Cup Noodles and the Gummy-mobile. Skip the Damned, welcome in. How's everything going with you today? Hope you are doing well. Glad to have you with us. Alright, so... we're moving on now. Let's see what we got coming up next. March 14th, 11:33 p.m. Theatrum Neutralis lobby. Those $1,500 Devil May Cry coats. Has Gumshoe ever looked stylish, though? I ask you. Agent Lang. Lang Z says, little cubs. Never do they know the real fury of the elder wolves. These quotes are definitely becoming increasingly difficult to decipher. And what does that mean? It means that you'll never really know how angry I can get. I love how his glasses have the giant X on them. It's the most absurd design I've ever seen for sunglasses. Mr. Prosecutor. Counterfeit bills made with Ablaze ink. They were all of Zeg Fa denominations. Yes, so I heard from Ms. Von Karma. But we don't know where the play money is gone. Must not have figured out that it was all burned yet. Ever since those things showed up in circulation, my country's economy has taken a big hit. Zeg Fa is in financial chaos as we speak. Because we can't tell the difference between our own bills and the fakes. But it's not just the money, the citizens are also worried. I've staked the honor of the House of Lang on this, and have come to this land to capture the mastermind behind this whole mess. I investigated how the bills were made and how the ink was smuggled into Zeg Fa. And I pursued the smuggling ring all the way here. Tonight, this is where the final chapter was written. Despite my frantic efforts to chase the smuggler down, someone got to him first. And now I'm called to return home without a single answer. Agent Lang, Don't start. It's not your fault. Not anyone's fault, Mr. Prosecutor. Master Alba, I'm sorry for all the trouble tonight. Oh, no. It is I who should apologize. It was all because I was not strong enough. If only I was able to think of a better solution. Quirkus, you fool! Curse your empty brain! Heh, you're being too hard on yourself, Ambassador. I take full responsibility for tonight. End of story. Sheena, let's go. Time to return to our den. Yes. I don't like to admit it, but there's not much else for us to do but to go home as well. Agent Lang, You, Wolfman and the Secretary Lady! Hold it! Objection! Pal! Detective Gumshoe! Detective Gumshoe, have you got the results of the handwriting analysis already? Yep, and that note was definitely written by Mr. Koshin, sir. Just as I thought. Good work, detective. Gumshoe is arguably adorably unstylish. I can agree with that. I can get on that side. Oh god, what do you got here, LTG? What on earth is going on with those glasses? Why are they so huge? How would that even stay on someone's face? They look super heavy. That's totally illegal though, Grushin. I mean, depending on how they look. I believe this was the plotline of one of the Yakuza games. Also, I like how, it appears we've stumbled into an international incident. Oh god! Those glasses are horrifying, LTG. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor. How long do you intend to hold us up for? Sorry to have made you wait, but I believe that now everyone is finally here. Agent Sheena, I'd like to ask you something if you don't mind. Yes? How exactly did you fail to see the Yaragarasu when you were in the neighboring room to where Mr. Kochin was killed? I'd like you to explain that to us. What? Hey, Mr. Prosecutor! What are you doing asking about something she didn't say? Agent Lang hasn't touched the Bobble investigation at all. So I suppose I will need to explain a few things to him first. Miles Edgeworth, I can't even begin to imagine what's going on in that head of yours. The only thing going on in my head is the pursuit of the truth. Oh, sounds like you have some sort of plan. Very well, I'll supervise you until the end. She's seriously going to treat me as a subordinate for the rest of the day. You're not trying to pick a fight with my subordinate on some flimsy guess, are you? I'm not trying to pick a fight, and the evidence is hardly flimsy, as you will see. Heh, I should have known that you and I are destined to fight it out till the very end. It would appear that way. Well, I'll prove her innocence, so let's see what we've got, Prosecutor Edgeworth. With pleasure. So dramatic! That was Team Rocket as hell, wasn't it? Oh my god. Alright, what's that one? Oh god, for a second I'm like, what's wrong with those glasses? Then I'm like, oh man. Wait, wasn't Spider Jerusalem's glasses asymmetrical in Transmetropolitan? Or am I thinking of something else? Because those I always thought was, yeah, they were. I always thought those were super cool. Aside from the fact they were horrendously impractical, I kind of wanted a pair. One round, one rectangular. Two different colors, right? One green, one red. Kind of wanted those. Transmetropolitan, one of my favorite comics of all time. For my opening argument, I'll discuss the Yatagarasu that appeared in Bobble and establish exactly who it was that Kay saw. Agent Lang, I assume you've been briefed on Kay's testimony? You mean the suspicious person in a coat that she saw? That's right. That person is one of the keys to solving this case. The person who pretended to be the Yatagarasu. Pretended? And what do you mean by that? I'll get to that in a second, but first I want to review what this person Kay saw did. Kay, if you could please explain what the person you were chasing did for us. Okay, you got it! Moving on to a new phase in the investigation here, it would appear. Alright. Let me get caught up on chat. Considering that Sheena is just silently mimicking his pose. I've never actually seen Medaka Box before. Familiar with it, haven't seen it. I first spotted the suspicious person near the open-air stage on the Ablaze side. I called out to the person, but as soon as I did that, the person ran off. I thought that it was rather suspicious, so I immediately gave chase. For the sake of argument, let's call the suspicious person the Yatagarasu. Now, please tell us what happened when you chased the Yatagarasu up to the 3rd floor. Can do! I chased the Yatagarasu all the way up to the 3rd floor of the Ablaze embassy. It was a pretty straight chase down the hallway until the sudden turn. The Yatagarasu disappeared around the corner, so I did my best to catch up. When I turned the corner, I saw the Yatagarasu run into Mr. Kochin's office. I gave chase and ran into the room. When I entered the room, it was pitch black. I couldn't see a thing. I felt something on the ground next to my foot, so I turned on the light, but then... Who's there? By the time I turned on the lights, the Yatagarasu had disappeared. When Kay entered the room, the person she was chasing was already gone. Why do you suppose that was, Agent Lang? What do you mean, why do you suppose? Isn't it obvious? The person slipped out through the door behind the girl under the cover of darkness. Sorry, but I know for a fact that person didn't escape through the door. Oh, and how do you know with that with such certainty? That's easy. If the Yatagarasu had left through that door, they would have run right into this person.
Take that.
Yeah, your answer is Shina? Yes, because let's consider what would have happened if the Yatagarasu had used the door. When Kay screamed upon discovering Mr. Kochin's body, the Yatagarasu would have run right into Agent Shina, who was in the next room over. Agent Shina, would you mind telling us if you saw the suspicious person in question? No, I didn't see anyone. You see? Therefore, the Yatagarasu could not... Just means that the creep slipped out before Shina made it out to the hallway. I doubt that, as there was another person in that hallway, a certain detective. Detective Gumshoe, where were you exactly at that time? Me, sir? Well, when I heard Kay's scream, I ran towards Mr. Kochin's office from the opposite direction as Agent Shina, sir. So, Agent Lang, can you explain us how someone could have eluded both of them? Even you must concede that under these circumstances, the door was not a viable route. Way to go, Mr. Edgeworth! You nailed him with just an explanation of what happened! Yes, I've eliminated one of the possible escape routes from that room. This is far from over. I need to make Agent Lang aware as well of yet another possible escape route the Yatagarasu could have taken. I get it, so that's what you're trying to show me. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, let me guess. This is what you're trying to say, right? Because the door was not a viable escape route, then there must have been another way out. Precisely. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, it's time to bust out with our revolving fireplace wall explanation, right? No, not quite yet. Huh? But why? I thought this would be the perfect time. The revolving wall on the Ablaze side is known only to 4 people. But if we use this information unwisely, the truth may escape us in the end. What's all the whispering over there? Scared I'll figure out your tactics? Nothing of the sort, Agent Lang. Come, let's continue where we left off. That smug, haughty attitude of yours, you really rubbed me the wrong way, you know that? Well, no matter. I figured you had already anyway. The only other possible escape route besides the door is that room's lone window. And since an eerie picture of said escape route exists, are you saying that this photo captures the moment of the Yatagarasu's escape? This Detective Bad must have filled him in on this photo. I have to admit that at first I thought the window to be a possible escape route as well. However, I now know that to be impossible. Now, I realize you may not know this, but humans can't fly! Gasp! Hitting us with a difficult evidence here that I never saw coming. Yeah, Lang looks like a Yakuza. I don't trust this guy at all. Hey, Defiant Salem, welcome in. How are you doing today? Of course I know that! That's bloody common sense! Besides, I never said I thought that photo to be of the Yatagarasu's escape route. I suppose not. Alright then, explain yourself. The shadow in this photo is not the Yatagarasu that Kei was chasing after. You can say whatever you like in whatever language you like. But there's only one language I really understand, the language of evidence. Very well then. I present to you proof that the person Kei saw is not the same one as in the photo. Oh, I was not prepared for this. Oh, what do we got? Photo taken after the first fire on the 4th and 5th floors have taken place. Not really much to go by in that picture. The badge! I'm not 100% sure here. Oh, let's see. We got some information here we haven't seen before. So Shorty, show him the badge. Shove it in his face. The first fire at the Ablaze embassy occurred during the Jam and Ninja show. The fire occurred on the 4th and 5th floors, and it took until the end of the show to put the fire out. The second fire at the Ablaze embassy occurred after the Jam and Ninja show. The fire occurred on the 3rd floor, and Mr. Cochin's office caught fire during this. I've got a guess here. I'm not 100% sure, though. Groshin, I like that. That is actually pretty badass. Ooh, nice picks there, Defiant Salem. I hope you enjoy them. I'm actually kind of stumped on this one. I'm going to try this. No, not this. Not that one.
Take that!
Let me explain to you precisely why the shadow in this photo is not the Yatagarasu Kei saw. Kei spotted the Yatagarasu heading for the 3rd floor during the 2nd fire. However, the photo in question was taken just after the 1st fire. As he strikes a pose. Yeah, way to go! That's twice you bit him in the butt now. We're not done yet. You still have to explain what that shadow is. And how the Yatagarasu escaped. I don't suppose you can answer both, can you? Regarding the photo, I admit that we don't understand what it means quite yet. Ha! As I thought! However, the Yatagarasu's escape route? Now that I can answer. Can? Well then, Mr. Prosecutor, go on. Enlighten me. Even if I explain it, you'll try to find some flaw with what I have to say. You were busy heading up the Alabaston investigation, correct? In that case, I doubt you'd have much knowledge about the Balinese side of the case. Balinese side. So wouldn't it be best if the lead on that side, Agent Sheena, explained in my stead? Sheena is my subordinate. Stick up for her, how can I look her in the eyes and call her myself her boss? Lang, it's all right. I can take care of him. Sheena, you've shielded me a lot as my boss. But it's time for me to prove my worth. All right. If you're okay with it, then you have my support. Finally, it's down to just Agent Sheena and myself. This is where the battle really begins. Now then, what is it that you'd like to ask? Let's see. Why don't we start with your movements inside the Ablaze embassy? Alright, so now it's really getting down to it. Timing issues, that's what I was thinking. I saw the spotlight down there, I'm like, wait a second, that couldn't have been late enough for that to be, when the chase took place. During the first Ablaze fire, I assisted in putting out the fire. During the second fire, I was searching for the Yatagarasu that appeared in Bobble. While I was searching, I heard a scream coming from the next room over. Although I was in the next room, I was unable to catch a glimpse of the Yatagarasu. To be honest, I'm actually very skeptical that the girl's Yatagarasu even exists. And that is all I have to say. But I'm not lying when I say I saw the suspicious person run into Mr. Cochin's office. Like I said earlier, I have no intention of retracting my testimony. Good. Just to confirm, did you have a partner when you were on your investigation? No, I moved alone. In that case, you have no one to corroborate your alibi, is that correct? Are you calling her suspicious because she was in a room by herself? How pathetic. And it wasn't when Agent Sheena tried to arrest Kay under the same rationale. And how about when you accused Larry because he was the weapon's owner? Not that it's unexpected for that useless lump to get into such a situation. Although I suppose it's never a good idea to let mistakes go uncorrected. I will make no excuse for what I did in that situation. Then you should apologize right now for making Kay out to be the killer, pal. I'm sorry. Sheena, apologize. I'm sorry. It's really okay. I mean, I'm not under suspicion anymore. Right, Mr. Edgeworth? Well, I never doubted you. Not for 1 second. Same goes for me. I believe in Sheena. Well, let's put that to the test and see if she really is worthy of your trust. This promises to be interesting. I already know what I want to press on here. But I need to blow my nose real quick. I'll be right back, folks. Don't go anywhere. Alright, I'm back. Let's see. Defiant Salem, we're looking for the shield? Last I saw it was on Hulu, but I think the FX stuff moved off of Hulu. I'm not sure where it is now. I know there's a couple websites you can look stuff up on that, like that. Just Watch, I think is one of them. Might want to check that one out. Alright, so she assisted in putting out the fire, sure. During the second fire, she was searching for the Yatagarasu, sure. Actually, no, this might be where we want to start pressing. Hey, T-Gamer! Good morning to you as well. How are you doing today, T-Gamer? And thank you so much for a 2-month resub. I appreciate the heck out of that. Hope you're having a good weekend. Alright, so yeah, let's press on this.
Hold it.
By the second fire, you mean the one that consumed the third floor of Babal, correct? Yes, that was when the suspicious person was spotted in Babal. Then you were after the same person in the long coat that I was after. There is no proof that the suspicious person was really the Yatagarasu, because no one was able to get a good look at the person's face. By the way, how is your team's investigation? In order to extinguish the fire, water was pumped into the third floor via the windows, so the majority of the investigators conducted their searches on other floors. Maybe they did, but there was one person who was wandering around lost on the third floor. When the fire was pretty much out, I moved to investigate the third floor. And you did that alone? Yes. Alright. Just chillin', T-Gamer? Nice, nice. Oh, it's on Prime Video these days. Nice, nice.
Hold it.
So you were in the room next to Mr. Cochin's office. I already told you I was earlier. As I was examining the neighboring room, I heard that girl's shrill scream. Upon hearing her, I immediately ran towards Mr. Cochin's office. Wherein you proceeded to arrest her, as I recall. Yes, I did. But she was totally innocent, pal! I thought we'd already cleared that up! And I thought I'd already apologized for my behavior. The tenacious detective would be so kind as to be quiet. Oh! I have to agree, right now is not the time to take issue with it. Not you too, Mr. Edgeworth. But what I do take issue with is the fact that you didn't say the Yatagarasu, Agent Sheena. The prosecutors of this country are all so strange. Alright, so let's see. Although she was in the next room, she was unable to catch a glimpse of the Yatagarasu. You were unable to catch even a glimpse, despite being in the next room. Is that true? I really hate to repeat myself. I'm sorry for inconveniencing you. However, I simply wish to make sure that you are not misremembering something. So Chugaboom, this game... The English version of this game takes place in America. I believe Sheena is from either actually from China or from some fantasy knockoff of China. And welcome in, Chugaboom. How are you doing today? Hope you're having a good weekend so far. However, the original Japanese edition of this game, the game took place in Japan. Just a localization quirk. We wouldn't want you to be accused of lying later on, would we? Hey, Mr. Prosecutor! Are you calling Sheena's testimony a lie? Agent Lang, I'm talking with Agent Sheena right now. I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't interrupt us with superfluous comments. Aw, you know, I feel kind of bad for him. I understand his pain at watching one of his subordinates be accused. However, I cannot turn my eyes from the truth. Lang, I'm alright. And as for you, I think you should be focusing your doubts on that girl rather than me. And why is that? I'm gonna press on this too, just because I want to hear what she has to say about it. Chugaboom just been lurking, about to go to the gym. I hope you have a good session at the gym. I hope it's productive. Stay safe. Stay hydrated, too. She's terrifying, Rooks. Oh my god.
Hold it.
Are you throwing Kay's words into doubt again? Well, she does claim to be the Yatagarasu, right? And she did try to chase down the Yatagarasu, despite being just an average citizen. Actually, she came here with the goal of capturing the fake Yatagarasu. That's right, which is why I would never lie about anything related to the Yatagarasu. And I suppose you have proof of that somewhere? Not quite, but even without any, I have people who believe in me, and that's enough. I see. Kay's testimony is without flaw, but as for yours, well, let's just say that I find your testimony to be a bit suspicious. be a very large flaw in her testimony. Oh, then why don't you show her what we found out with Little Thief? I will, in due time. The escape route of the Yatagarasu that Kay was in pursuit of. Turns out that it really does lead right to Agent Sheena. What is it that she is keeping from us right now? Alright, so we're gonna save, just in case. Hey, EP! Thank you so much for the gift sub to Chugaboom right there. Gift sub number 25 in the channel. I appreciate the heck out of that, EP. Thank you very much for that. That means a lot, it helps a lot. And Chugaboom, you enjoy your emotes there. Alright, is it time to present our evidence? I think it might be.
Objection!
Being in the room next to Mr. Cochin's office is the problem with your testimony.
Knuckle back!
Mr. Prosecutor, I don't see what problem you're talking about at all. Agent Lang, do you recall the secret we discovered about the Alabastian office fireplace? Huh? Oh, you mean how it connects the office with the room next door? What about it? Well, Alabast isn't the only country with secret connecting fireplaces. What? The fireplace in Mr. Cochin's office holds the exact same secrets. What? The Yatagarasu didn't escape through the door to the room or the window. The escape route was through the revolving fireplace wall and into the next room over. Now do you see? If the Yatagarasu had escaped into the next room, then the thief would have run straight into Agent Sheena. Meaning that it's impossible for her to have missed the Yatagarasu. What is the meaning of this, Miles? Well, would you care to explain, Agent Sheena? How you managed to completely miss the fleeing Yatagarasu? Or shall I? Your claim that you were in the next room was a lie all along, wasn't it? Truth is, you were the one Kay saw in the coat, pretending to be the Yatagarasu, and you were the one she chased after. As you tried to lose her, you ran into Mr. Cochin's office and headed for the fireplace. Then you shed your coat in the next room, leaving it there to emerge as Agent Sheena. After that, you came back around to place Kay under arrest. Does that sound about right? If not, then speak now or forever hold your peace. How dare you make Kay look like the bad guy and you were the suspicious one, pal? Sheena? What's happening now? That laugh! I remember this irritating laugh. I'm getting chills down my spine. It can't be, but it has to be. Sheena, what's wrong with you? I'm sorry. It was so funny that I couldn't help but laugh. Funny, you say? Yes, that you would accuse me of being the Yatagarasu. Prosecutors of this country really are so very strange. Do you think you can get away with this by simply laughing it off? You think I'm taking things too lightly? I think not. It's that prosecutor who is. Look, everything you said earlier is nothing more than mere speculation. The Yatagarasu fled through the fireplace. Do you have any proof to back up your claim? If you don't, then you haven't proven a thing regarding the Yatagarasu's escape route. The tone of voice you're taking with me now has certainly changed. That's because it's been a while since I've had this much fun. I think I'll let loose, and then we can have a real battle of wits. For an agent of Interpol to show me the true power of her mind, it is a great honor. Don't underestimate me. I'm not some foolish broad, you know. I know, and that is why I won't hold anything back as I answer your question. Question? Here is your proof that the revolving fireplace wall in Bobble was used recently. Let's see. I believe this is what we need for this. It does seem like it's Callisto, doesn't it? This is concerning. This is very concerning. Got you now!
Take that!
I'm sorry, but is this really your honest answer to my question? Yes. According to the Ambassador Polino's testimony, he said that he was burning some documents in the fireplace with Mr. Cochin. Oh? The ashes of what they burned were left in the fireplace, so they should have been there. However, when we went to investigate the room, the ashes weren't there. Why is that a problem? Maybe someone cleaned them up.
Objection!
Unfortunately for you, Ambassador Polino said that he forgot to. And so the question remains, why were the ashes missing? The answer is simple. When the Yatagarasu went through the fireplace wall, ashes were pushed into the next room by the wall as well. The movement of the ashes that were in Mr. Cochin's office is my proof. And just what is so funny? Ash is proof? Are you even allowed to submit such flaky evidence in court? You still wish to fight us? Of course. Why wouldn't I? I want to save again because this girl's scaring the shit out of me. In that case, let's hear your counter-argument. My counter-argument, huh? It really is just like being in court. Well, to me, we're simply continuing from where we left off all those years ago. I have no idea what you're talking about. Doesn't matter if we're at a crime scene or in the court. Let's finish this here and now. I suppose. I've had a lot of fun today, but I grow weary of this game of cat and mouse. Yeah, T-Gamer, this is nuts! Very tense, I'm loving this. Let's make this the last testimony and wrap up this absurd case once and for all. I think he's got her number, but we still have to see what she says in her rebuttal. In my eyes, all you proved is that the rotating fireplace wall was used. But you can't really call that proof that the Yatagarasu used the fireplace, now can you? So then, who was it that used the rotating wall? Show me your answer with real evidence. Remember, we've already finished our very thorough investigation, and we found not a single suspicious thing in Mr. Cochin's office. And there you have it, my counter-argument. It's very impressive. She's seen through to the fact that I've yet to gather that one piece of evidence. What is it, Kay? I haven't heard a peep out of you in quite a while now. If you don't think you can handle it, feel free to leave the rest of it to us. But Kay, pull yourself together. You are the true heir to the Yatagarasu name, are you not? You want to steal the truth, then you must never take your eyes off of it. The chase you're running to catch the truth, you must see it through to the very end. Mr. Edgeworth, you're right. I will see this through to the end. So, you go get her for me, Mr. Edgeworth. With pleasure. Looks like a lack of evidence has left you wide open, doesn't it? China. Please, show me you're someone I can trust. Don't worry, this will be the deciding match. You'll see. Truly sorry, Agent Lang, but I simply can't allow her to escape me again. Very well then, Agent Sheena. Shall we begin? I'm ready whenever you are. The one piece of evidence? It's real! Alright. So I don't actually see any weaknesses in her testimony here. So we're just gonna have to press on everything and see if anything comes out here. I think we're gonna have to hope we can get lucky at this point. Because as Edgeworth says, we're missing the one piece of evidence we need. And that evidence is the long coat that the Yatagarasu that Kay saw was wearing. Because the person who ran into that office, who we're presuming is Sheena wearing the long coat, had it on them. Then they crawled through the fireplace, got ink and ashes all over the coat, dropped the coat somewhere, and then ran in without it to arrest Kay. If we had that coat, we could probably prove everything, but without it, it's a little bit weak. It is. Prisoner knows. Oh.
Hold it.
Sounds to me like you're saying my explanation is not good enough. But I was able to go through the revolving door myself. So that should be proof enough, even for you, pal. Huh. Looks like you don't quite understand. By your look, I can guess that you're not all that learned. Ow! Talk about rude. You should watch what you say, pal. Sadly, I can't say I disagree with her on that one. But you know what I mean, right? You may have proven that the fireplace was used. But you can't really call that proof that the Yatagarasu used the fireplace, now can you? So you want proof that the Yatagarasu was the one who used the fireplace? That's right. Well, do you have any? Can you prove that it wasn't the Yatagarasu who used the fireplace? I don't need to prove anything to you. Objection! Kay, if you could please not steal my line. Sorry, but I just couldn't hold on to it anymore. Well, don't fret and leave her to me. All you have to do is sit back and watch. You may seem like to have some wiggle room, but without any evidence, it's meaningless. So then who was it that used the rotating wall? Show me your answer with real evidence. It's possible that the Yatagarasu left fingerprints inside the fireplace. Sorry, but I had the forensics team check that already. All they found were prints belonging to Ambassador Polino and Mr. Cochin. Curses. I should have known better than to think Yatagarasu would have been so careless. There must be some sort of evidence. Oh my god! I think I might have figured out where the jacket went. I might have just put it together there. Oh shit! I've got to guess. I've got to guess. Ooh. I take it you have no further objection? Remember, we've already finished our thorough investigation. Okay, no back seating. I've got a gimmick and I need to work it here. That's what the audience expects. So Interpol has finished examining the entire Bobblese embassy. Yes, the investigators who weren't allowed into Alabast were incredibly helpful. They all put in great efforts to search for any sign of the Yatagarasu. And yet, despite all that effort, it appears that they failed to notice the lack of ash in the office fireplace. Furthermore, you were the one who inspected the room next to Mr. Cochin's, correct? I didn't notice the ash there in the fireplace of that room, and for that, I'm sorry. You don't need to apologize, Sheena. As your boss, your mistakes are my mistakes. Allow me to apologize for you. I'm sorry. You know, maybe this guy's not such a bad guy after all. He apologizes for his subordinate and everything. What a great boss. Are you saying that I don't do anything for my own subordinates? No, nothing of the sort, sir. You're someone I really respect, sir, even if you are a bit Too strict sometimes. That is only a problem on your end. Wow, way to be super hard on him in response. We're really too strict on everyone. Anyway, Sheena, you didn't find anything in Mr. Cochin's office, right? That's right. We finished our investigation. Found not a single suspicious thing in Mr. Cochin's office.
Hold it.
So you really didn't find anything? Yes, as I said, not one suspicious thing. Although, as you already know, we did find Yadagrasu's key and the document detailing the smuggling operation. We still haven't found the blade that belongs to the Ablaze knife handle yet. Ha! You see, my subordinates work hard to investigate everything. So there is nothing else to find, alright? Wow, Agent Lang really sticks up for his people. Lang Z says, all men are brothers, and friends become family. So you see, my people are my family, and their families are my family too. That's a rather large family you have there. Yes, but as we all know, there is one black sheep in any family. And though it pains me, Agent Lang, you will know the black sheep in your family. So, do you actually have any proof that Yadagrasu used the fireplace passageway? No, I haven't found any yet. Then what are we gonna do? There's no need to worry, because there is a loophole in Ms. Interpol agent's argument we can exploit first. The one in charge of the Ablaze investigation was not Agent Lang, which means that with Agent Sheena in charge, it's possible she may have tampered with the evidence. That piece of evidence that we found. There's one thing I do know, it's that someone tried to hide it from us. Alright, so what do we want to present at this juncture? Like I said, I think I know where we're going eventually, but I don't think we're going there yet. Question is, what do we want to show next? Let's see, there was the wire hidden inside the grandfather's clock, but honestly, I have no idea what to do with that. Let's see. It's always frustrating how you know how it was done, but you know how the game wants you to get there. Yeah, like I know where the end of this chapter is gonna be because I figured that out. But I'm like, what do they want me? What do they want from me right now? Right this second, what do they want from me? What was hidden from us then? The Ablaze knife handle. That wasn't really hidden. Documents weren't really hidden. This one's tough. This one is tough. Let's take a look at our statements again. We found not a single suspicious thing in Mr. Cochin's office. I think this is the statement we need to do something with. What did we find in Mr. Cochin's office that was suspicious? We found a couple things. We gotta pick the right one here, but we did find a couple things in there that were, and, you know, we got a bunch of evidence in our inventory right now is what I'm saying anyway. So, what do we want to attack her with is the question. Well, I suppose. So here's the thing. The butler in the library with the candlestick, that bastard. Did we find our badge there? Damn it. Alright, so here's what I'm thinking. So we found the statue there, we found the key there, we found the knife there, we found the documents, we found the handle, the ink, the note, Or no, the note wasn't even found in there. That was somewhere else. So I found all those things in there. But the wire we found on our own, she did not find.
Objection!
So it's not much, because we still have no idea what the wire even means. But it's the loophole he was talking about. Well, you say that you and your agents have finished your thorough investigation. Are you absolutely certain that you didn't overlook anything? Well, aren't we full of ourselves, standing there insulting Interpol agents? You better not be insinuating that my men are incompetent, Mr. Prosecutor. I'd never do that. However, it doesn't change the fact that they did overlook something. I'd like for you to take a look at this length of wire. And what exactly is this supposed to mean? Length of wire? So what about it? I'll tell you what. We found this in the Ablaze embassy not long ago. What? And we found it wound up inside the grandfather clock in Mr. Cochin's office. You found that? At the scene of Mr. Cochin's murder? But this wire wasn't all we found. We found one other very important thing. There's more? In Mr. Cochin's office, there were signs that someone had burned counterfeit bills there. What in the... That evidence was something you found out through that girl's machine, right? So what if it was? Ah, that's what I thought. But unfortunately for you, a recreation made by a machine is hardly concrete proof. Among the ashes you found in the room, did you happen to find any counterfeit bills? No. You see, there was nothing in that office. Nothing you can call evidence anyway. I'm sorry, but I seem to have given you the wrong impression. How so? I don't recall saying that I was presenting evidence of any sort. But rather, I was pointing out that your investigation was incomplete. And that this throws doubt on the purity of your investigation into the Yatagarasu. You still suspect me, I see. Alright then, I ask that you point out which part of my investigation is incomplete. The other Interpol agents worked under the command of Agent Shi-Na. Is it not possible that the reason the person K was chasing chose the third floor was because that person knew there would be no other agents on that floor? Furthermore, we've come to see that Agent Shi-Na was only pretending to be investigating the Yatagarasu to the point of arresting K. In that case, there is one location that no one has yet to inspect. Your team's investigation was incomplete because they failed to inspect this location.
Take that!
The location, Agent Shi-Na, is of course the room you claim to have examined. I believe the room next to Mr. Cochin's office warrants a thorough inspection. Even if you do that, I doubt you'll find anything of use to you there. I'll be the one to decide that. Detective Gumshoe! Yes, sir! I'm on it! I'll be right back after I check that room next to the office. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth? Do you really think that Ms. Shi-Na is the Yatagarasu? Yes, if my logic is sound, I believe she is. Groshin, honestly, it felt like she was going that road, doesn't it? Just ask Old Bag? Oh god, if I never have to see Old Bag again, it'll be too soon. Then I'm not gonna let her get away with ruining the name of the Yatagarasu. Can you prove she's the Yatagarasu is the question. If Detective Gumshoe can find what I'm hoping he will find, then I should be able to. Just what are you hoping he'll find? To say this, I had Detective Gumshoe do a little experiment for me earlier. An experiment? As if that detective had the brains for science. Wasn't that mentally taxing? I had him use the same escape route as the Yatagarasu. And what did you find out by doing that? First, that it's possible for a person to fit through the revolving wall door. Second, that by going through there, his coat was covered in ash and Bobbly's ink. Who cares what his coat was covered in? It's not worth that much anyway. Ah, but is it really worth so little? I believe that it's actually quite a meaningful result, the value of which I am about to prove. Mr. Edgeworth, I found some things you really need to see, sir. Oh, so what are these things that you found? Some makeup, a coat, and a pair of shoes, sir. You found a coat? You hear that, Mr. Edgeworth? Maybe it's the one the person I was chasing was wearing. Yes, the possibility does exist. Agent Sheena, were these pieces of evidence not in the room when you examined it? Unfortunately for you, those aren't suspicious items of any sort. They all belong to me. They were getting in the way, so I stored them in that room. Aww! Thank you for bringing them to me. It saves me a trip. May I have them back now?
Hold it!
These items the detective brought back are incredibly significant. I request that we be allowed to examine them. They're my personal belongings, so you have no right to touch them without my permission.
Objection!
I wish to examine them for the sake of the investigation. But if you wish to deny us access to them, Agent Lang, let's hear your opinion on this. I say let him look at your stuff, Sheena. Lang. Sheena, let's put it all out in the open. If you're really innocent, then you have nothing to worry about, right? I guess so. Alright, go ahead and examine whatever you'd like. After all, I have nothing to hide. Good. Now let us begin. Which of Agent Sheena's belongings are you going to examine, sir? We're going to start with that coat, most definitely. There's always at least one among us. It's true. It's true. I've heard of the calling. I've never actually seen it, though. I appreciate the recommendation, though. Was it ants? Did he find ants? That's how you get ants. Rex says, welcome in. How are you doing today? Question. Let's examine the coat. Yes, sir! It appears you managed to stain your coat rather badly. Agent Sheena. Yatagarasu that Kay saw was wearing your coat. I'm beginning to wonder if this stain wasn't created when you went through the fireplace. No, you have it wrong. That soot probably got on my coat when I was helping the police put out the fire. And what about this dark substance around the hem of your coat? Oh, I didn't realize the hem was that dirty. Sure, it's just some water mixed with soot from when I was helping the fire. I don't think so. You think you can get away with such a transparent lie? Yeah, don't lie to us, pal. This is the same pattern of dirt that got on my coat when I went through the fireplace. Your words ring hollow in the absence of evidence, you know. So unless you can prove that the dirt on my coat is from the fireplace, which I can. How? You did a great job, Detective Gumshoe. Huh? Me, sir? What did I do? Show her the badge! Oh god, yeah, I'm actually hoping to get my hands on the calling for Wii. I heard it's not very good, but you know, it's still my jam. This coat. This is exactly the piece of evidence I was searching for. I had been hoping to find the coat that the person Kay saw was wearing. But thanks to you, you proved that going through the fireplace would sully a coat. I don't quite get what you're saying, but I'm happy for the praise, sir. All that remains is for us to show what this dark substance on the coat hem is. Oh, and you think you can do that? Of course I can. This is the dark substance that sullied the hem of the coat. I thought we just literally said what the dark substance was. I guess we gotta say it again! The calling for weep. Not very good. Wii. I actually have a couple Wii games I want to stream, but I gotta figure out how to get set up for it first.
Take that!
Ablaze ink? Yes, this is what will prove that the coat went through the fireplace. According to Ambassador Polano, he burned some files in the fireplace this morning. Told us about that already, so I don't really see the point in mentioning it again. Au contraire, we're mentioning everything for a second time. My point is that he spilled some ink onto the back wall of the fireplace at that time. If the dark substance on this coat turns out to be Ablaze ink, it would prove that you and this coat went through the revolving fireplace wall. Sorry to have clipped one of your wings, Yatagarasu, but we're not finished yet. How long does that ink stay liquid for? I mean, some ink does stay liquid for a very long time. I'm thinking oil-based inks, and they did mention that that ink is made with an oil. So it's possible, especially if it was on a surface that isn't necessarily porous. Like, it might be designed to soak into paper, but if there's nothing to soak into, it'd just stay on top of it. But you have no way of proving whether or not this is Ablaze ink on the coat hem. Oh, but I do, and I intend to show that it is ink in a few seconds. How? How, you ask? Well, since you don't seem to know, allow me to show you. This is how I'll prove that the dark substance on the coat is Ablaze ink. We can find out whether that's Ablaze ink or not by lighting it on fire. That's how you're going to prove that it's Ablaze ink? Yes. If you could please cut a section of the dark stained area for me, I'd appreciate it. Because I will show you, here and now, what the dark substance is. Gina, sorry to do this, but I'm going to have to cut off a piece of your coat. Go ahead. I wasn't planning to wear it anymore anyway. Now then, if someone could loan me a lighter or something? Oh, I've got some matches. I always carry them with me so I can light smoke bombs. Then if I could please have one, Kay, we can get this experiment underway. The flame! It's the same color as the flame's white crystal oil produces. Which means Ablaze ink is a product of white crystal oil. And when lit, the ink produces a green flame. Yeah, I like how it literally burned all the way to vapor. What the hell was that coat made out of? I was more thinking of the fire that had been in the fireplace drying it. That's true. The fire probably would have either burned it up or at least hardened it. That is weird. Objection! That coat costs 1.5 grand. I was actually waiting for her to say, oh no, don't burn my coat. That's so mean, but Lang jumped in there, thankfully. She weighs the same as a duck, which... It's all the... Asbestos long coats are all the rage right now. I believe the time has come to clip the Yatagarasu's other wing. Ishina, you're the fake Yatagarasu. The one who killed my father. About time you came clean, Agent Shina. Or should I say, Callisto you. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor. You're not serious, are you? Do I look like the joking type to you? Callisto you? I've never heard that name before in my life. That manner of speaking, and that attitude, you haven't changed a bit in 7 years. You're the defense attorney that killed Mr. Faraday, and then tried to frame me for it. Oh really? Then you have proof. You insist that I am this Callisto you woman, but you can't prove it. If you have no proof, then I'm afraid you won't be able to lay a single finger on me. The raven is a very unique bird, one that flies by the darkness of night. However, the light of dawn has arrived, and it will reveal your true ugly form to the world. Enough poetry. I want to see some evidence. Do you really have something that can prove she's Callisto you? I do. It's something that the second Yatagarasu has preserved for us these last 7 years. Do me the honor, Mr. Edgeworth. I will, Kay, for we have finally come to the end. This is it! This is it! We'll prove her to be Callisto you with this and clip Yatagarasu's wings for good.
Take that!
Wait, was that not it? That wasn't it? What the fuck? It was so dramatic. Oh, no, wait, I know the thing. I mean, come on, that works too. That was the dagger that Callisto stole 7 years ago, come on. But yes, I suppose if we're looking, there is one other thing we can do here. Yes.
Take that!
This perfume, this will prove you to be Callisto you. It will? Kay has preserved it perfectly for us. Surely you remember this bottle. This belonged to Miss Yu just before she disappeared 7 years ago. Naturally, this means that a few of her fingerprints are on here as well. Hey, Ball Blair, welcome back! Sorry to ruin the moment, everyone. This is that bottle of perfume you spilled, which I have preserved ever since. I heard from my father, Bern Faraday, that if stored under the right conditions, a fingerprint can be preserved for decades. Which means that your fingerprints are still on here, every last one. We can clear everything up if we were to compare the prints on this to your own. Now come, Agent Sheena, will you submit yourself to a fingerprint test? Oh God! Oh God! It looks like you've seen right through me yet again. You're sending the biggest chill down my spine, Edgeworth. Callisto, you. So you've shown your true face at last. This feeling of thrill, it's even greater than that time 7 years ago. Sheena, you're... Lang, I really enjoyed our days together. You're an insanely strong, nice, kind-hearted idiot of a man. So, you were a spy all along? A mole sent by the smuggling ring I've been chasing after? Someone who's been feeding them intel on Interpol all this time? Very good. Maybe you're not as big of an idiot as I thought. Callisto you, the woman who killed my father 7 years ago. You're her, aren't you? The fake Yatagarasu. That's right, Callisto you. That's just one of my many names. But even that is just a facade. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am the great thief Yatagarasu. Callisto you. This time you won't escape, for this is the end of the road for you. Now come along quietly. You know, you're the one who left the strongest impression on me, Kay Faraday. And had you not used the Yatagarasu's gadgets, I might have never known who you were. But here you are, being a thorn in my side, just like your father always was. Kay, don't! You! I'll never forgive you for what you did to my father! You really are just like him. Mr. Faraday, too, possessed such laughable honesty. Whoa, God! Kay! Ah! You let Kay go right now, pal! You despicable! Let go of me, you filthy... Urgh! You think I'm a fake, don't you? Well, unfortunately for you, I'm the real Yatagarasu. That's impossible! My father was the one who created Little Thief! Hey, Edgeworth. Yatagarasu has 3 legs. Do you know why that is? Why it has 3 legs? There are 3 main reasons why the Yatagarasu will always be 1 step ahead. First, the Yatagarasu always knows the exact location of the target object. Second, the Yatagarasu always knows exactly how to disarm the security system. No, it can't be! Did you finally figure it out? Did you finally know the real identity of the Yatagarasu? The real identity of the Yatagarasu is... I mean, what? I mean, Vern Faraday, he was the real Yatagarasu. If you're naming Mr. Faraday as the Yatagarasu, you're basically wiping out every single argument you made tonight. That wasn't my intention. Ha! Everything we talked about tonight is nothing more than filler. Go home, pretty boy. You're not needed around here. Oops. Yeah, that would be a mess, I suppose. Callisto, you is the real Yatagarasu. Mr. Edgeworth! Did we just talk about this? It's you said herself that she's the real one, so you don't need to say it again. I suppose not. What the world am I doing? Oops. The real identity of the Yatagarasu. The real identity of the Yatagarasu is neither Vern Faraday nor Callisto Yu. It's just some guy. The true identity of the Yatagarasu is just some guy. It was just some guy. It doesn't matter. It was just some guy. Nobody was the Yatagarasu. Nobody has ever been the Yatagarasu. Yatagarasu is not real. We just made it up. Freaking Santa Claus. Relentlessly, oh god. Miles brute force Edgeworth. 3rd time's the charm. Alright, but enough with the joking around. The real Yatagarasu is me? Was Phoenix the Yatagarasu? Brute force, best force! But by the same token, they are also both the real Yatagarasu. Literally everyone ever is the Yatagarasu. I don't know. Huh. How very perceptive of you. No way! The single person known as the Great Thief Yatagarasu never existed. Mr. Edgeworth! No! I refuse to believe this! Yatagarasu is known to have 3 special skills. Skill number 1. Yatagarasu always knows the exact location of the target object. And a lawyer would have the opportunity to learn the layout of client corporations. Skill number 2. Yatagarasu always knows exactly how to disarm the security system. And a good prosecutor would be well versed in the ways of a criminal. Skill number 3. Yatagarasu doesn't leave a single shred of evidence behind. Ever. Oh shit! Detective Bad! It was only natural for the Yatagarasu to never leave evidence behind. Because the lead detective on the case hid it all away. You're the 3rd member of the Yatagarasu? I've been looking for you for a long time. 7 long years, but I finally got you. Why, Mr. Bad? Long time no see. What happened to us? We used to be such a great team. You were such a great team? Then why'd you kill my father 7 years ago? Why, indeed. It was nothing personal, really. He was just another person I had to kill. How can you say that? I grow weary of this, and it's about time for everything to come to an end. And this time, I won't miss. Stop! You... Kay! It's over, Sheena. Your leg! Agent Lang! You idiot! What were you thinking, jumping in front of my gun like that? What are you risking your life for? I'm sorry, Detective Bad, but no matter what sort of past she may have had, or even if she is a spy, or doesn't change the fact, it doesn't change the fact that she is my subordinate. And as long as she is, I can't allow any harm to come to her, not even from you. You really are an idiot, you know that? Heh, it's fine with me. You should know by now that this is just how I am. Hey, sis. Yes? I want you to conduct a full body search. She now might have another weapon on her. All right. Detective Gumshoe, your assistance, please. Sir! Whew! That got tense. Bad coming in at exactly the right time. That was tense. That was so bad. It's good to be bad. I thought bad was good. It turns out bad is bad. Yeah, don't rip her sexy dress. Hey, I found something. What is this, sir? Looks like the blade of a knife, but it doesn't have a handle. This is a great find, detective. Huh? It is, sir? Let's try pairing up this blade with this handle.
Take that!
I believe this blade actually belongs with the handle that was on the murder weapon. Hey, it fit together perfectly! This blade must have been taken from the crime scene when the knife handles were switched. I'm gonna go return this Ablaze knife now. Alright. I trust that you'll make sure it is returned to Ambassador Polino. Ablaze knife handle given to Detective Gumshoe. I believe this makes it perfectly clear who did it, Callisto you. But the only time the handles could have been switched is just after Mr. Cochin's murder. Which means that you must be Mr. Cochin's killer. You killed Mr. Cochin with the Alabastian knife. Switched the handles and then took the original blade of the Ablaze knife with you. Later, you allowed yourself to be spotted by Kay near the open air stage. You used the fireplace to lose her, and then you went back to accuse her of the murder. Does that about sum it up? You've crafted an engaging tale, Mr. Edgeworth, but there are two problems with it. Problems? In what respect? Why do you think my real reason was in allowing her to chase after me? It was all so I could capture Kay Faraday. What? When I saw you using that device in Gatewaterland, I knew right away that you were Byrne Faraday's daughter. I became curious, so I researched a little into your background. That's how I found out that you were on the trail of the Yatagarasu. So that's why you tried to pin Mr. Cochin's murder on me? Yes, I knew you would show up at the embassy tonight. So I thought to use you, but pinning the murder on you wasn't my only goal. You had another? Yes, once I had you under arrest, I had planned to search you. Take back the device that rightfully belongs to me, the true Yatagarasu. You were gonna take a little thief away from me? 7 years ago, it was thanks to that device that Faraday was able to infiltrate this place. But he stole more than he should have. I had a tough time recovering that precious key. Then the person who stole the Yatagarasu's key was Mr. Faraday? You. That incident 7 years ago. What was the catalyst behind it? In the eyes of the smuggling ring, the Yatagarasu was becoming a bit of a problem. It was an especially pleasant assignment. And why? Why did you become a member of the Yatagarasu? Why? There is no why. I was destined to betray everyone from the very beginning. From the beginning? What is that supposed to mean? The person I take orders from hasn't changed, even now to this day. Does that mean that the leader of the smuggling ring wasn't Mr. Cochin? Then the real ringleader is still out there pulling the strings. Are you done asking what you need to know? Because if so, we should probably get going. And you're gonna tell me everything you did tonight. Do you understand, Sheena? I guess I should tell you then, that I was the one who set the Ablaze embassy on fire. And why did you do that? I suppose it was to destroy all evidence of the counterfeit bills. That was what the smuggling ring was trying to do? Then why start two fires? Sorry, but I can't tell you anything about the ring. It's your job to complete your investigation after all. I've had my fun. Now it's your turn to enjoy the ride. Wait! I mean, Miss Sheena. Yes? When I fell to the floor earlier, these fell at my feet. What about them? They're such pretty hair sticks that I thought, well, that I should return them to you. You can have them. They're of no use to me anymore. If you don't want them, you can always just throw them away. No, I want to keep them. Suit yourself. Oh, that's right. I almost forgot, Edgeworth. About the second problem I had with your story. I didn't kill anyone tonight. What? I'm not saying that as a sore loser. Think of it as a hint, if you will. Mr. Prosecutor. Yes, Agent Lang. Mark my words, I'm not done here, and I'll be back. It's got nothing to do with duty or anything, because this has become my personal case. I may have been shot, but I'll show you just how dangerous a wounded wolf can be. Anger appears to have negated the sensation of pain in his injured leg. It's finally over, Kay. I feel like I peered into her heart a little, you know? It's so cold and dark, and incredibly lonely. The person who has given her all these commands. The one who thought my father was a problem to be removed. That person is the real ringleader behind the smuggling ring. Mr. Edgeworth, I have a favor to ask. Can you hold on to these hair sticks for me? They're really pretty, just like the ones they were selling for the Jam and Ninja show. But until this case is over, I don't think I can look at them without being overcome. I understand. I'll take good care of them for you. Bit of soil stuck on the ends of these sticks. Interesting. Oh, I guess it's that time already, huh? So it's midnight, the dawn of another day. Hey, Pops! Thanks a bunch! You really done a lot for everybody all these years. Detective Bad, don't tell me today is the day. Yeah, it is. With this, I can retire in peace. It was down to the wire. We almost didn't make it. But we did it. We solved everything. But that's just it. We haven't solved everything yet. The ringleader of the smuggling ring, you the Yatagarasu were chasing after. Legend of that Yatagarasu, now over. Mr. Edgeworth, a bit of logic earlier. It was brilliant. Feel like I can leave it all in your hands. I'm counting on you. Is it really true, Uncle Bad? Were you also a part of the Yatagarasu? As I said to you earlier, Kay, I'm truly sorry. I wanted nothing but a peaceful life for you. Uncle Bad? Hey, don't take it so seriously. It's all just one big joke, right? Unfortunately, it isn't. Come on, sir. She's just yanking my chain, isn't she, Mr. Edgeworth? Detective Bad. Wait, no, you are no longer a detective. Mr. Bad, I'd like to ask you about the Yatagarasu. Not you too, Mr. Edgeworth! Mr. Edgeworth, here, I should give these back to you. These are the pages from my KG8 case files that the Yatagarasu stole from my office. Huh? Wait, what? Mr. Edgeworth, I must apologize for last night. So the Yatagarasu who stole into my room was you, was it? Wait, then that means... What? Tell me it's not true! That's too insane for me to believe, sir! It's true, even if it's not something you want to hear. KG8 incident. It was a very emotionally trying case. We stood in that courtroom, Faraday as the prosecutor, and I as the lead detective. Faraday had evidence in his possession that would prove the defendant guilty. However, because it was stolen, the defendant was found innocent. You was the elder sister of the victim in the case. When the defendant was pronounced not guilty, she let out a great wail. That's when we realized there was a limit to what the law could do. The only way to bring someone like that to justice was to do so outside of the courts. That's what we thought at the time. That's how we formed the Yatagarasu, vowed to bring to light any dirty dealings companies had with the ring, including companies that dealt with the Amano group. Mr. Amano's conglomerate. We called ourselves the Yatagarasu and flexed our collective muscle. We exposed all sorts of shady dealings as a warning to the business world as a whole. By doing that, we were able to stop the higher-ups from covering things up. And then, it was finally time. We had finally arrived at the moment when we find out the ringleader's true identity. It was then that you literally stabbed us in the heart. Faraday, you died for it. But why? Wasn't she the sister of the victim in the KG-8 incident? After Faraday's death, I looked into her past. And that's when I found out that she was a phony. The victim of the KG-8 incident, CCU, she never had a sister. What? That means she now wasn't the only fake name she used. Callisto U was another pseudonym. From the very beginning, that woman was a spy sent by the smuggling ring. She said it herself, I was destined to betray everyone from the very beginning. Anyway, let's return to the real topic at hand. Mr. Edgeworth, this trump card that we stuck onto this page of the case file. Please use it wisely. Trump card? That photo that we stuck on there. Try peeling it off. Behind it slumbers a piece of evidence that Faraday hid away all those years ago. It's the mark of the Yatagarasu. But why? This is getting crazy, holy shit. That person, the Iron Infant. Dawn of the second day, 48 hours remain. Oh, jeez, follows. Well, you got a good start there, at least, I suppose. Hey, 4M, welcome in. How are you doing today? Hope you're having a good weekend so far. The Yatagarasu really was the friends we made along the way. What do you know? Oh, jeez. This is a directives card from the big boss. Take a look at the back. This was something Cochin had on him at the time of the KG-8 incident, 10 years ago. That blood is from the victim of the incident, Miss CCU. Why is the card adorned with a mark of the Yatagarasu? The reason why we called ourselves the Yatagarasu was because of the three-legged raven mark that the smuggling ring's bosses used. Apparently, orders from the boss would come on these cards without fail. The person who received the order was supposed to burn it immediately after reading it. Apparently, it burns a bright green flame when set ablaze. So you mean the cards were written in Bobbly's ink? The fact that the card that Cochin was sent made it into Faraday's hand at all is nothing short of a miracle. We decided that whenever we stole anything, we would send a card along with it to the police. So that's what those white cards are. Great thief that used that mark that only those within the ring would know. It was our message to the ringleader. Also, Bob, welcome in. How are you doing today? That we were only a few steps behind. Alright, that's interesting. What's the whole three-legged raven thing in a new context? And one more thing, Detective Gumshoe. I'm entrusting this to you. What is this, sir? This is what I was talking about earlier. During the KG-8 incident trial, Faraday had this in his possession. This important, definitive piece of evidence. I'm doing good, Bob. Thanks for asking. Can't say I enjoy the whole thing tremendously. This is so tense. Holy shit. But I thought it was stolen. How do you have it? The person who stole it from us 10 years ago was a man by the name of Ernest Amano. he had it locked up and hidden away for all this time. But we forced him to tell us where it was finally, after the other day's kidnapping case. Alright. This video. Don't come any closer! I'm warning you! This is the same video as the one Mr. Portsman was trying to conceal from me. Yeah, it seemed that even he was caught up in the ringer's web. Amano was preparing to take on the boss someday. And the video was his insurance. That's where that prosecutor comes in. He was to retrieve the video. On top of that, he was apparently instructed to sneak into your office and steal the trump card. You saw it for yourself, right? The card that told him to preserve the evidence. And that card was not the calling card of the Yatagarasu, but rather a directives card from the ringleader to Mr. Portsman? Two pieces together make for a strong weapon for whoever holds them. The evidence Mr. Portsman thought to withhold from me, and the one that you stole from my office last night. Both pieces are illegal, and for me to use either one is, whether you use them or not, is up to you. But they will be of help to you when you take on someone who's above the law. Is the boss of those who cannot be brought to court that Mr. Faraday spoke of? Detective Bad. There is no limit to the law, for it is the people who determine the limits to them. Still insist that even now, really are something else. I leave the rest in your hands. Now then, Detective Gumshoe, the handcuffs. It's time to lock up the last remaining member of the Yatagarasu. Pops! Don't ever lose your detective spirit. Pops! Why is this happening? This isn't justice! Like I always told you, don't get emotionally involved. Now let's go. Yes, sir! It's all coming together! Is this really the end of a legend? To be continued! Whew. So we revealed a whole shitload of stuff there. Got the true identity of the Yatagarasu, the original one at least. And figured out who Kay was chasing through the hallways, but the problem is, I think she now might have been telling the truth. I think she might not have been the person who murdered Manny Cochin. And we still have no idea who murdered Mask to Mask. So, even though we got a lot of information revealed there, we haven't actually solved the murders. So, God, we've got a lot of work to do still. Holy shit. Yatagarasu plural. I don't even know how to pluralize that. You still think Francesca's the ringleader? I mean, I would like to arrest her for, you know, whipping the shit out of everybody for nothing, if nothing else. Unfortunately, folks, I hate to do this to you. I hate to do this to you. But there is too much left in this case for us to finish it today. Which means we are going to have to finish this next week. So Friday next week is going to be the finale of Ace Attorney Investigations. So I hope you folks will join us for that. Yeah, the fifth case is always super long in these games. Holy crap. Like, this isn't even super long comparative to some of them. If you hate it, don't do that. Unfortunately, I suspect I've still got 3 to 4 hours left, and I just don't have time for that today. I'm sorry. Ball Blair, oh god, that circus case was so bad. So was that the real Master Mass or the fake one? That was the fake one. Which, you know, is still important for our purposes. The copycat is who he was. That elusive final episode again, that turnabout again. That counter-argument again? I'm so sorry, everybody. But hey, I appreciate you folks joining us. I really do. I had a wonderful time tonight. This was tense as hell. Holy crap. And hey, hopefully everybody that wants to see the finale will have time to catch up on the VODs before next week. If you'd like to follow along with the mystery, feel free to. They'll all be going up on YouTube. But for tonight we do have one last thing to do before we call it quits. And as ever, that is... Let's see who all else is online. So if you're not done watching Twitch for the day, maybe I can send you somewhere cool. I would like the opportunity. So make sure to hit follow first and foremost if you haven't already. That'll be the easiest way to find me next week or anytime if you'd like to come back. We'd love to have you. And while I'm looking to see who all is live, there's some links in chat you might want to check out if you haven't seen them yet, including a link to my YouTube if you want to get caught up on this case, if you want to check out some of the other Ace Attorney games, or any of the games I've played in the past. They're all up there, feel free to. And we've also got a link to my Discord if you would like to check out, if you'd like to chat with me or the rest of the community outside of the stream. Everybody's welcome there, feel free to jump on in. And for right now, I see another retro streamer playing a very cool game. I would love to stop in there and say hello. Do we raid the real Yanagarasu now? They in jail now. Or dead. In jail or dead. No, we are going to raid someone who raided before, but I don't actually get to raid super often, so this will be nice. Another streamer by the name of Stuff by Sunshine. She is a retro streamer, mostly plays retro adventure games. She also does some art streams as well, which is very cool. Today she is playing a Stone Cold classic, Betrayal at Krondor, which is a really neat game if you've ever seen it before. It's really interesting. So why don't you join us over there, say hello to Sunshine, hang out for a little bit, throw us a follow if you like what she's doing. But if you got other things to do, I will just say as I always do, have a good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're at in the world. I will see you folks next week for the conclusion of Ace Attorney Investigations. Take care until then, everybody.